Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop.
I'm Ryan. It's me. I would like to explain to you what's happening on the show today. That sounds like I'm going to give you like some sort of like analysis of problem.
Just do it. Just get to it.
Hit the hole, Ryan.
To it.
So what I'm going to do
This is the opposite of hitting the post.
I'm going to tell you what's happening.
Thank you. Now.
12:25. You ever heard of Heritage? Zack Smith's going to be on the show. He is a legal analyst. We're going to talk about Hunter Biden and his role in the, let's call it the Biden crime family. That's going to happen at 12:25. Hey, that's what you come for.
Most people probably.
Yeah, I don't know how you can argue with that judgment, but I will say alleged, just in case. At 12:45.
What is the bombshell news story be that they aren't?
Say that again?
I said, wouldn't the bombshell story be that the Biden family is completely...
That they're exonerated? That a Durham report comes out and goes,
no.
Hey, you know what?
None of that.
It was all fine.
That would be a bombshell.
Yeah, it would be.
Ryan, you got to get going because we're in and Annie has a live she has to do.
I think I have a live, don't I?
No.
My
Can
text.
Okay, I'm going to do the pre-show today. You can leave because I got to talk about Ruler Foods here in a minute. Zack Smith is going to talk to us about, there's been suggestions that Hunter Biden might be indicted soon. So what's the indictment going to be about? We're going to talk at 12:25 about that. And then at 1:05, we're going to talk to Tyrus. I don't know 100% what I'm going to ask him about because Brad threw me completely off because he sent me a message and said that essentially Martha Stewart is his hall pass. And I was like, I don't need to know that. But now you know that. So we will get to the show here in a minute. The YouTube live chat poll. Would Ron DeSantis be a good president? Yes or no? I'm holding your feet to the fire. I don't care about anything else. Just that's a simple question with no parameters other than would he be a good president. The Anti-Frey YouTube channel, which you're probably watching on now already. Maybe you're not. Go vote yes or no and leave a comment as to why. Bye.
Isn't linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. Learn the strategies that have helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 36 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Rulerfoods.com, the simplest way to save money on one of your most frequent bills, your grocery bill. You go to Ruler Foods, the one closest to you, and they are all over the bipartisan, listen to me. Do you want to know what I do for a living? I just added myself. The bi-state region. You go to Ruler Foods on the Missouri side. You can go to Ruler Foods on the Illinois side. I shop at the Collinsville one. There are ones across both sides of the river. And when you shop there, you're going to save money every single time. They have great deals for your cookout needs. Memorial Day is coming up and you want to make sure that you save. Maybe you're feeding more people than just the general crew. Maybe you and your significant other, or maybe the family is coming over and you're going to buy more food. So why not save more money? 80% lean ground beef, Kroger lean ground beef sold in 3-pound rolls, $3.33 a pound. You can also get their 8-ounce Kroger shredded or bar cheese, 3 for $5. And they also have patio furniture and grills and yard decor and more. Everything is there at Ruler Foods. So you need to be there as well. Go to rulerfoods.com.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Find tools for the job site or your own backyard at over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and the Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Hi, Chad Hansen with Hansen's Tree Service and Environmental Resources. Spring is a great time to refresh your garden and landscape. At Hansen's, we manufacture a full line of garden and landscape products that are perfect for your outdoor project. Pick up any of our products at World Outdoor Emporium, Kirkwood Materials, or a Hansen's location near you.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong.
I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I pray that all members consider the information I and my fellow whistleblowers present. You may think I'm a political partisan. You may think I am a grifter. You may think I'm a conspiracy theorist. It does not matter. Simply put, this committee should avoid the temptation to impugn the character and the motivations of the messengers seated before you. I sacrificed my dream job to share this information with the American people. I humbly ask all the members to do your jobs and consider the merit of what I have presented.
So there's an FBI whistleblower testimony taking place, a hearing today, and every day I come to stand behind this microphone with the great honor and pleasure to speak to you and have this conversation on a daily basis. I see these House Republicans peeling back one more layer of what in the world is going on in our federal government. And it's really disconcerting. And the reaction that I'm getting from it from a lot of people who are listening or watching or whatever, or people who are on social media is, but where are the orange jumpsuits? Where are the indictments? Brad, I don't know that any of them are coming.
Why would they come? Because the very people that were charged with putting the orange jumpsuits on people, that are bringing the indictments, are part of who we're investigating, part of who this is being revealed by. They're not going to get their own. The current people that are in place in positions of power in Washington right now are not going to prosecute their own party. They're just not. It's where we're at.
Is the only solution then to win the presidency?
Yes.
That's it.
That's it. And even then, I don't know how well that works.
Well, here's Congresswoman Kat Kamik.
I know a lot of people back home are wondering, we hear about this weaponization. You guys get up here, you investigate, but nothing ever seems to happen. Think about this for a minute, though. Why this is so critical that we are investigating the weaponization of the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Department of Justice. As was pointed out, if you are a parent and you attend a school board meeting, there could be an FBI agent in the parking lot scribbling down your license plate number. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is actually testimony that these brave whistleblowers have given us. That is not America that I know. If you are a Catholic and you want to attend Catholic Mass, perhaps there is an informant inside reporting on what you are doing inside. This is the thing that novels are written about. This is spy movies.
They're supposed to be fiction novels. I don't really know what they could do to be more bold in their political willingness to use these entities, these bureaucracies, against people who just politically disagree with them. It's the consolidation of power. And the thing that makes me the most frustrated about all of this is it's the gaslighting. Because when you hear somebody like the Department of Homeland Security Secretary reinforce this idea of domestic terrorism, where the hotbeds of this domestic terrorism in our country really reside at school board meetings, it's so outrageous. It's so ridiculous that folks like you and me who are really busy just doing our daily lives, trying to mind our own business. Yesterday, we did a YouTube live chat poll about, is the American dream still attainable? We're working hard on that American dream. We're trying real hard to make the sun up to sundown of every single day be one where we take one step closer to that idea of the American dream. We want to be free. We are free. We want to be independent. We don't want to have roadblocks put in front of us. And when you hear that domestic terrorism is rooted in the town halls of school board meetings across the country, you go, what are they talking about? It's stupid, stupidly outrageous. so stupidly outrageous. Brad, I don't think people take it seriously. I think it seems so ridiculous that it garners an eye roll from most American people. They don't believe that the severity of what is being suggested there is actually happening. But when you hear Congresswoman Kamik talking about FBI agents in school board meeting parking lots writing down license plates, holy sugar, that's terrible.
Infiltrating your church because you might be an extremist because you go to a Catholic church.
Catholics!
I think the reason people look at this and they go, nah, eye roll, there's no way. I think really that boils down to, did you ever think that this sort of thing would happen in the United States? And I think there's a whole large segment of the population that's like, no. We don't do that here. That's something that happens in foreign countries. That happens in third world banana republics. That doesn't happen in the United States of America. The FBI is all on the up and up, and there's no way they would weaponize that. That just can't happen in the United States. And the reason people deny it is even when they're presented with the evidence, that's earth-shaking, foundation-rattling stuff that, oh my gosh, that is happening in the United States. What's going on? And they don't want to deal with it. They just have to deny it.
It doesn't happen until it does. Fox News reports that the FBI targeted pro-life groups, Catholics, and parents attending school board meetings with investigations in an effort to, quote, inflate the sense that they were a domestic terrorism threat, according to whistleblowers. House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan detailed the reports in a Thursday morning news conference just minutes before 3 FBI whistleblowers were scheduled to testify before the committee. Jordan described allegations from the whistleblowers that the FBI's Washington, D.C. office pressured the rest of the organization toward a political agenda. Jordan said, quote, if you're a parent attending a school board meeting, if you're a pro-lifer praying at a clinic, or you're a Catholic simply going to mass, you are a target of the government, a target of the FBI. That's terrifying stuff. We have an open southern border. We have an emboldened, brash, power, money-hungry China looking to clip our heels and pass us in every way, shape, or form that they can. We have a fentanyl drug epidemic in this country. We have a mental health crisis in this country. We have social media entities and outlets that are reaching into the minds and lives of young children, and the people who could possibly provide the guidance necessary to make this healthy, they don't even understand the platforms. We have artificial intelligence that some of the brightest and most experienced among us are saying that this is the biggest threat that we face as a world, as a globe. Russia is invading Ukraine still. We are sending money we don't have to defend Ukraine against this foreign adversary. And the entire election is going to be about Donald Trump. Not about how he can address any of those problems. It's not going to be about what he can do to get the economy back to its roaring self that he so aptly and quickly did when he was president the first time. No one's going to talk about that. He might try to bring it up. No one's going to talk about that. People aren't going to talk about how Donald Trump was able to keep us in a time of great peace globally when he was the president of the United States. They don't care about that. The people who have the power to draw the narrative into the mainstream want to make sure that we live in a world and a society where the highest officers in the land who are responsible for the security of the United States homeland label Catholics, pro-lifers, and parent advocates at school board meetings as a leading threat to the security of our nation. It is so absurd that the entire goal of this politically driven agenda in the FBI in these departments throughout the bureaucracy of our government. The idea is that you hear it and it seems so absurd that you roll your eyes and then you go back about your life. They don't want you to pay attention. They have the media in their pocket so that the media won't cover these stories so that you don't pay attention. They quickly and easily divert any sort of serious talk about the direction this country is headed under President Joe Biden to, yeah, but Trump. And they keep you from paying attention because you're so annoyed with their BS on a daily basis that it's nauseating to pay attention to what's going on in this country. It's not going well. And it certainly isn't in a trajectory at this point in time to get better. The news comes out in the Durham report that essentially the main helping, the main portion, the entree to the way this country views Donald Trump as a self-centered, egotistical, will do anything, make a deal with anyone who will benefit one Donald Trump. In a story, in a fable, a fiction about Donald Trump's interest in partnering with Vladimir Putin to screw you over so that he could service his own ego and enter the White House and be the president of the United States the whole damn time. It's what Hillary Clinton was doing. The whole time. It's what they were doing. And they did it to you. And they didn't get away with it once, but did they get away with it another time and another time and another time? It's hard to tell because they don't want us paying attention. And we'll move into a new election cycle, 18 months away, less than, where you'll have to ask yourself, is this going well? I don't really see, this isn't great. Yeah, but I mean, Donald Trump, am I right? And then you say, oh yeah, I get real bad vibes from him. I felt like my life was going in a pretty good direction when Donald Trump was there, but I do not want to be associated with that guy. No, not me. No, I'm not MAGA. Are we so foolish and shallow to end that conversation there? Because Joe Biden is ruining this country. The consistency that we have from what they did to Donald Trump when Joe Biden was the second highest ranking political official in the country. He knew what was going on. He was a part of it. You think Barack Obama and Joe Biden had a vested interest in Hillary Clinton winning that election? Have you heard Michelle Obama react to how she felt when Donald Trump won that election? They needed Hillary to win, I would say, at all costs. And she lost. And they didn't make that mistake again. I'm really hoping that while you might get swayed into conversation where people say what's going on in the House is all political theater and that they're just grandstanding because they can't do anything outside of these types of hearings and subpoenas and having people testify because the Senate is controlled by Democrats, and whose fault is that? We're going to blame Donald Trump for that too. And Joe Biden, he's not going to sign anything that comes out of the House that is really going to make a difference for this country for the better, that Republican conservatives thought was going to make for the better. So the Republicans in the House, they're just grandstanding. They're just trying to pull anybody that they can in front of a camera so that they can create their political commercials for their opportunity to run in 2024. The more they say that, the more you need to put your hand up, tell them to step back. Give me a minute. Let me listen to what they're saying. Don't listen to just what the Congress people are saying. Listen to what the people who are testifying are saying. The people whose name you will never remember after we play a clip here on the show, or you catch a clip on YouTube, or you catch a clip on Twitter, and you listen to somebody who is in the FBI, who serves their country valiantly in the military, goes into these investigative bureaucracies and says, this is not right. This is not what I fought for when I defended my country and I served. And I'm going to step up and I'm going to say something about it. What are their names? You're probably not going to remember their names, but you better remember their stories. There is something going on in this country right now that the left and everybody who subscribes to the left agenda, the progressive agenda, that has great success when you're not paying attention. You ever notice how things have to get really, really bad in this country for the country to wake up and go, yeah, I think we need some of those Republicans again. Do we have any conservatives out there? Can we get this tightened up and cleaned up a little bit? And then a Republican comes in and the economy starts to do a little bit better. And then it starts to do a little bit better. And then we get spoiled. And then we get bratty. And then we start saying, oh, we have so much in this country. We need to equalize everything. We need equity in this country. And then you forget how you got there. And then we go into this cycle again. From what I understand, I wasn't there. This feels a little like Jimmy Carter. People I talk to say this is worse. And up until Joe Biden, Jimmy Carter was a life lesson in how not to do things in this country. God love him. People say so many nicer things about Jimmy Carter as a man than Joe Biden. It's just kind of like, we don't want to talk about it. At this point, it's like, just don't talk about it. He's still the leader of the free world. He's the president of the United States, and I absolutely do respect the office. But it's time the country start respecting itself and what got us here again. It is not Joe Biden. When we come back, Zack Smith's going to join us. He's a legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. He's also co-host of SCOTUS 101. Zack's going to talk to us about this suggestion that there is an indictment around the corner. Dare I say, Hannity is saying TikTok. Don't hold your breath. Zack Smith will answer that question when we come back. Don't go away.
I'm listening, but there's no sound.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Building a home is incredibly exciting, but also a bag of stress and anxiety as well. Things never go exactly according to plan, but when you go through that process and you work with a company like C.A. Jones to build that beautiful home, then you start understanding why so many people brag about their experience with C.A. Jones. They get it. They understand this is a lot. It's a big investment, and it's in many cases, going to be your forever home. So when you start looking at cajonesinc.com and you're going through the website and you see their buildable plans right there, and you start the dream, you just start kind of opening up that realm of possibilities. C.A. Jones knows how big of an investment that is for you. That's why they work very, very hard to both invest in you as a client of theirs and also the communities that you're going to build in, because they care about where you're building your house and making it a happy home. They have an Energy Star certified home builder distinction. They offer the top energy efficient homes in the Metro East, saving you thousands of dollars annually. And they reinvest in those communities with the first responders, veterans, and all of that important stuff in your community. If you're interested in building a home on the Illinois side of the river, go to cajonesinc.com.
This is an Illinois Family Institute, IllinoisFamily.org update. Pro-life pregnancy care centers under legislative attack, a push to legalize euthanasia and co-ed bathrooms in Illinois. And before the General Assembly adjourns, lawmakers could take action to place a pro-abortion state constitutional amendment on the 2024 ballot. IFI's David Curtin says voters should voice their opposition to state lawmakers.
All of these have to do with usurping the role of God in our society. If they can just be faithful and tell their lawmakers that, that's the best thing they can do. Will we be successful? I don't know, but we will be faithful, and that's what we should do. But you still need to register your disapproval with your legislator.
Pray for our lawmakers and sign up for IFI email alerts at illinoisfamily.org.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
They are our love bugs and companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life better. When we face unexpected challenges, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people and their pets. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
When children were being fatally injured by window blind cords, Honor Law took on the manufacturers to have dangerous cords banned.
Call Onder Law Personal Injury Lawyers at 314 or 618 $9
Tony La Russa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, Bernie Federico here. Over the years, you've heard me talk about lakeside renovation and design. My friends Matt and Dan have been in the business for over 25 years and have done everything on my home, from James Hardy siding, Infinity from Marvin Windows, and even a couple of room additions. These guys are great, and you can trust them with your home. Check out their website to see for yourself all the beautiful work they've done. You can find them online at lakesidrenovationanddesign.com. Be sure to ask about their unbelievable financing options. Lakeside Renovation and Design.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gsLhonorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
If you're as thankful to your first responders as we are, then nominate a local department and let us feed them a great meal. Compliments of Grill Master Tony Stone. Mark Cox here. Visit 971talk.com/contests. Help us feed our first responders. You can nominate someone today.
Everybody gets high sometimes, you know. What else can we do when we're feeling low? So take a deep breath and let it go.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
And if you feel you're sinking, I will jump right over into cold, cold water for you. And although time may take us into different places, I will still be patient with you.
A federal indictment against Hunter Biden now appears imminent. The president's son could be arraigned as early as tomorrow. He could wind up going to prison. The Washington Post is now reporting that prosecutors are now nearing a decision on felony tax charges and gun charges after meeting with Hunter Biden's lawyers late last week. So make no mistake, tensions are very high at the Biden White House tonight.
So Sean Hannity, that was May 10th. That was 8 days ago. And the implication is that Hunter Biden is nearing indictment. And I, for one, have heard a little too much TikTok over the past few years, and waiting for something to happen that never does. We've seen Hunter Biden and known that he's been under some kind of investigation for so many years now, but it's the second half of May of 2023. And what? Apparently Hunter Biden is like sleeping on the cot with the president when he goes to Ireland or something like that. How do you get this gig? It's unbelievable. Well, let's get to Zack Smith. He's our guest, legal fellow from the Heritage Foundation, co-host of SCOTUS 101. You got to check that out. Welcome back to the show, Zach. Appreciate you being here. TikTok, Hunter Biden, are you holding your breath on what's going to happen here?
Unfortunately, I'm not, Annie. Look, we've been hearing these rumors for quite some time now. And in fact, just recently, the news is reporting that the IRS team that was investigating Hunter Biden and a lot of these allegations against him have been taken off of the case. A whistleblower brought this allegation forward. And unfortunately, that seems to be par for the course in terms of what we're hearing about certain federal government agencies like the IRS, the FBI, and others that appear to have been politicized at least as far back as 2016, likely before that as well. But this is troubling stuff all around because whether you're Hunter Biden or Hillary Clinton or anyone else, if you break the law, you should be held accountable for it.
So I hear a lot of people reacting to the Durham report, and they're like, yeah, but what indictments are there going to be? What crimes were committed? And I guess the same thing would be thrown out there about Hunter Biden, because nothing happens. Americans who are faced with a justice system that these incredibly powerful and rich people don't have to face themselves are getting very angry.
Yeah, that's understandable. But I do think there are important differences between the Durham report and the Hunter Biden situation. First of all, we know, or we suspect, there's still an active, ongoing investigation into Hunter Biden. We've heard leaks, we've heard stories, but we don't really have a comprehensive report about what's happening surrounding the Biden administration, the Biden family, and Hunter Biden specifically. We know some of what's going on, but not really everything. The Durham report, on the other hand, yeah, I think people are right to be frustrated. There weren't more indictments. But if you read the report, it's 306 pages. It's a lengthy read. But my colleagues, John Malcolm, Cully Stimson, and I, we actually read it. We have an article out kind of breaking everything down. It's incredibly detailed, and it's incredibly disturbing, some of the allegations that he makes against the FBI. Essentially, you have the FBI ignoring certain information that would tend to be exculpatory or prove that the Trump campaign wasn't working with the Russians, as has been claimed. They ignored that. We had some FBI agents, it's been well publicized, Peter Strzok and others, clearly exhibiting bias against Donald Trump. Really, saying one thing privately and another thing publicly. And so it really, brings to the forefront some very real questions about the politicization of the FBI, how we got to this place, why rules and regs in place weren't followed. And more importantly, I hope and I suspect it's going to kickstart a conversation about what we need to do going forward to make sure that these types of abuses cannot occur again in the future.
So what can we do? That's the big question I think everyone has. When you see Hunter Biden getting off the hook or likely getting off the hook and everything, in essence, I feel like the Durham report is a roadmap, at least in this day and age, of how to try to steal an election from somebody, because they basically lay out, here's everything that the Hillary Clinton campaign did, and this is where our investigative bureaucracies took it, and they're pretty much going to get away with it. What do we do? Who needs to be elected? Who needs to be fired in order to really weed out this overgrown, nasty swamp?
Well, how much time do you have, Annie?
If you got an answer for me, you go until you're done talking.
Well, listen, I don't know that I have a very satisfying answer. And frankly, I don't know that John Durham had a very satisfying answer. In his report, essentially said that, the problem wasn't really that there weren't sufficient rules and regulations in place. The problem, in his view, was that, the FBI had essentially lost its way and lost its commitment to fundamentally upholding the rule of law. Instead of trying to, be political and all of these other things. And so in that sense, I think he's right. We do need a recommitment to doing that. We do need to make sure that, the federal government is hiring the right personnel to make that happen. But certainly, the fact that the rules and regs in place at the time weren't sufficient to stop this from happening, I think a lot of people say it's time to re-examine those rules and regs. It's time to re-examine the structure of the FBI. It's time to re-examine the other safeguards that we have on kind of our intelligence and law enforcement apparatus. And so while I don't think we have all of the answers right now, I do think this has been a good jumping off point. I do think it is going to be an impetus to get this conversation moving. And it's a good thing that the House Oversight Committee has already invited John Durham to testify next week about what he found and some of the suggested reforms that he might think would be appropriate. And so this is going to be an ongoing conversation. But I think for you and I, Annie, the important thing is for all Americans is to not let this fade from memory. Keep this on the forefront of conversations and hold our elected officials accountable to keep moving forward, keep finding solutions, and really staying with this until we do get these needed reforms in place.
I couldn't agree with you more. It does have to be front and center for any American voter, not one political party or another. Zack Smith is with us right now, legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Jake Tapper said that this Durham report essentially exonerated Donald Trump from the whole Russia collusion allegation that he's been fighting for years and years now. I would read to you a comment from one of our listeners right now listening to this conversation. And this is something that I hear somewhat regularly from people who are dissenters, who don't like Donald Trump, who maybe disagree in terms with the Durham report. But they say Trump's campaign was talking with the Russians, 150 known contacts. In the Mueller report, Trump provides written confirmation of that in his replies. The suggestion exists that, no, there is still documented, and there were indictments, there were charges made for Russia's interference with our 2016 election. And with the comment here from our listener, how do you reconcile that with what you have read in the Durham report?
Well, look, you have to remember the exact allegations that were made against the Trump campaign. They were fairly salacious. Essentially, that the Trump campaign was coordinating with the Russians to release damaging information on his political opponent, Hillary Clinton, and that somehow they were taking advantage of the hack of Hillary Clinton's private email server to essentially damage her politically. There was no evidence found of that. And in fact, the FBI, the intelligence community, knew fairly quickly that they didn't have any corroborated evidence of that. They had some hearsay information, some other, kind of second, third, fourth-hand information that someone alleged that in a very indirect way. But, one of the things John Durham points out is that the FBI failed to consider is that they themselves could essentially have been the target of a Russian disinformation operation, that the sources that they were relying on to, see if these hearsay statements really amounted to anything, that they themselves could have been compromised by the Russians and were essentially being used to feed faulty information back to the FBI. So I think the important thing to remember from the Durham report, Annie, is it was just complete failure from top to bottom by the FBI to take even basic investigative steps that could have avoided the entire debacle that the Russia collusion hoax case eventually became.
Zack Smith, before I let you go, I want to give you the opportunity to react to what you've seen from Jim Jordan or James Comer. This Republican House majority has very little on the whole that it can do to pass legislation, to, put into place the Republican majority policies that they'd like to see enacted in this country. But one thing that they can do is they can subpoena, they can hold hearings and air out testimony. From what you've seen them do so far with the slim majority that they have in the House, what is your reaction to the performance that they've been able to achieve so far?
Well, I think they have a daunting task, Annie. The Biden administration is so radical, so bad on so many issues that they really have their job cut out for them in terms of oversight. And so I think they're doing as much as they can right now. We've seen the FBI whistleblower hearings that are going on today. We've seen James Comer hosting House oversight hearings on D.C. crime that's absolutely out of control. And so you are seeing information coming to light as a result of these oversight and investigatory hearings, and it's encouraging. I'll give you an example. Just yesterday or the day before in the D.C. oversight hearing, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia had been refusing essentially to release their prosecution statistics for many, many years. James Comer, members on his committee, have essentially told them, release them or we're going to subpoena them and hold you in contempt if you don't give them to us. And as a result of that, at least the Justice Department gave lip service to committing to releasing those. And so the more we can get information out in the sunlight, kind of combat the disinformation that we hear day in and day out from mainstream media, that's a good thing. And I hope they'll continue to keep their foot to the pedal and move full speed ahead as much more oversight is certainly needed.
A daunting task indeed. That is a great way to put it, but one that they have to take up and do their very, very best with the time that they have left in this majority, and hopefully they'll expand it again in 2024. Zack Smith, thank you for the time today. We're grateful to talk to you.
Of course. Thanks for having me on, Annie.
You're welcome. We appreciate you. the legal fellow from Heritage Foundation, Zack Smith, taking Hans von Spakovsky's place here. We get a break on a Thursday. Always great to speak with him. I am so frustrated with the lack of results, and I know you are as well. It's probably top three number one. What a stupid thing to say. I need a vacation. Top three things that I hear from listeners, or when I speak to you, when I meet you, met you, a lot of you folks on Tuesday at the Thomas Helbig event. And your question to me is always, is anything going to happen? And my response to you is, not until we have the White House. And it's really that simple. So the question is, who's it going to be that we're going to run for the presidency in 2024? There's a lot of rumblings right now that Ron DeSantis is going to announce next week. I am taking a couple days off next week to be with my kids and my husband. We're going to take a trip to Ohio. I'm looking forward to that. And so I know he's going to announce on those days that I'm out. It's going to be the worst freaking thing ever. I'm so mad about that. I hope he announced early in the week. But today's YouTube live chat poll, and I don't want you to put any parameters on this question. Just answer this question. Would Ron DeSantis be a good president? Yes or no? On the Annie Frey YouTube channel, if you visit there and you see we're broadcasting live, as we do each and every day, you can come comment and say hello. If you haven't been with us before, we would love to meet you. There's a lot of good, lively conversation taking place with each show. In the live chat portion, you will see the live chat poll. Vote yes or no. Would Ron DeSantis be a good president? Go vote on that. And when we come back, Ryan Wiggins in studio with more of his what the heck stories that he is accumulating, and he'll drop those on us when we come back. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
It's how we learn and how we grow. And I want to lay with you till I'm old. Oh, you shouldn't be fighting on your own.
I remind you that last week, I think, I was talking about the Closet Factory, and someone goes, oh my gosh, my garage is a mess. They need to have a garage factory. They do. They do garages. They could do your garage. Imagine you've gotten the lawnmower out a few times, and you got your lawnmower out, and then you probably had to put some oil in it, or maybe fill it up with gas because you hadn't run it all winter, and you had to dig it out, find the oil. Where's the oil? It's not where oil should be. It's just wherever you set it down last, and that was a while ago. So it's just hard to get to things in your garage. And you don't want to have your garage door open when people are driving by in the neighborhood because there's just so much stuff in there. You got a lot of stuff, but there's no organization to it. The Closet Factory can organize all of that stuff for you. Put in built-in customized shelving. Use the vertical space in your garage and make it so that you could put your cars in your garage as well. Doesn't that sound amazing? Think about it. Imagine it. It's a reality. It's just a phone call away. Call the Closet Factory at 314-961-4300. That's 314-961-4300. Or find them online at closetfactory.com.
There's more riding on Metro Transit than people. Metro Transit helps move our economy. If you're a people person looking to change careers, join our team. You may qualify for a signing bonus too. We are conducting on-site interviews this Saturday, May 20th at the Brentwood Metro Bus Facility, located at 3000 South Brentwood, St. Louis. Metro Transit offers good health and retirement benefits, so stop by to get your career and our local economy moving. For more info, visit workatmetrostl.com.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Some stuff coming up next on Wiggins America that's going to make you go, what the stuff that's happened this week? And also Tyrus on Gutfeld last night, some great quotes. He's going to be on the show just after 1 o'clock. The time right now, 12:47. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
McKelvey Homes was founded in 1898. This year, we are celebrating our 125th anniversary by giving $12,500 of free options on all homes sold through the end of June. And we will also make a donation of $1,898 to the Independence Center for every home sold. Visit McKelveyHomes.com for our current locations and to learn more information about McKelvey Homes. That's McKelveyHomes.com.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AA, MCO.
You could be watching this right now. Tune into the Annie Frey Show live stream. YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Twitter. You know what? Just type in Annie Frey Show live stream.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! This show is about to get rickrolled because all of these stories are...
That's not how it works.
We already got rickrolled.
You can't play Never Gonna Give You Up and then say we're about to rickroll you and then not play Never Gonna Give You Up. The rickroll is the Never Gonna Give You Up.
See?
Brad.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, Ryan, how the rickroll works is you trick somebody into watching a video of something that you think is going to be something else, and then it's rickrolled.
Donald Trump is pulling out of the presidential race, and then you start playing some AI crap of him doing that, and then you play Never Gonna Give You Up, and you're getting rickrolled because they sucked you into watching something, and then you play that song.
Or you get a tattoo of a QR code that you say, this is a special video to me, and they scan it, and it takes you to the YouTube link of the...
Ooh, that's the tattoo we should get.
Yes.
But to subscribe to the Annie Frey YouTube channel.
Yes.
Ooh, so if you subscribe to the Annie Frey Show YouTube channel, you get a tattoo?
No.
You get the QR on your forehead, and then we take a picture of you.
Me. Not like you, the audience. Me, literally me.
So literally directly at you. And we have, in the last 24 hours, been talking about you getting tattoos.
Yes.
At the 6,000 subscriber mark. I don't want to get distracted on that because you understand what it means to be rickrolled, right? Now?
Well, I do. I generally do. What I was doing there is called a good segue.
But it's not right.
But it was
it's not
it would have been
good.
top tier. Brad says things on the bottom shelf. This would have been top shelf.
Oh gosh.
That's not the same either.
No.
All right, Brad, bring me up on here because these are stories that are going to make you go, what? The first one is an anti-capitalist coffee shop in Canada is closing after a year in business. Its owner announced, citing the lack of generational wealth / seed capital from ethically bankrupt sources as the reason for being unable to continue to operate the business. This honestly sounds like Charlie Kirk wrote an Onion article, but it's real. This Toronto cafe called The Anarchist opened in March of last year and previously described itself as an anti-capitalist, anti-colonial cafe, shop, and radical community space on stolen land. But it's going to close its doors because its efforts to make coffee more accessible to everyone and to enforce the idea that enterprise is not a capitalist venture. The shop had a tiered coffee model where if you felt like you were wealthier, you could pay the higher tier for coffee. The problem is everybody was buying the lowest tier. Surprise, surprise. The model was not successful.
But it's because, of the ethically corrupt money from seed companies or whatever.
It's the quotes from this guy are unbelievable. I mean, he is blaming the entire system for failure. And I guess in a sense, he's right. I mean, the system is not set up for this kind of business to succeed.
Well, that's because people aren't set up for that kind of business to succeed.
Yeah.
That's the fundamental issue with communism is it relies on people being like not taking the easy way out.
Yeah.
There's no reward for doing the hard work, so nobody's going to do the hard work.
Of course. And nobody views themselves as the man.
Yeah.
I'm the man.
When was the last time you talked to somebody like, you know what? I have way too much money. I'm going to pay top dime for this coffee instead of this problem. If you are the kind of person that has too much money, it's because you know how to pay the low amount.
Also, if you're that wealthy, you're not stopping in to get coffee.
Right.
Somebody's bringing you coffee on a silver platter every morning. This guy, just the quote is, I got to read one more. It's been an amazing experience connecting with so many great community members, sparking desperately needed debate, raising the blood pressure of conservatives. That includes you, anarcho-capitalists and libertarians, and fulfilling the dream of most service workers by not having to tolerate the presence of professional class traitors, pigs, and military.
Wow.
No joke. And I mean, it goes on from there. It is, I mean, really, I can't even believe this is real.
That's not the Babylon Bee?
That is a real article.
That's amazing.
Yes, amazing. And it makes you go, what? The second one, teens can now book rides on Uber. Annie, if you could, in Uber's latest play, the rideshare race says teenagers will be able to ride without their parents or any adult in the car.
Yeah, sure. It's pretty Midwestern, non-metropolitan to look at that and be shocked by that.
Yeah, it's already happening, apparently, as I read, because I didn't know this. I mean, we're very Midwestern, so I didn't know that people were already doing this, but apparently teenagers get rides all the time, and Uber's basically making it easier for parents to track those rides.
Yeah, this is not surprising.
Okay.
If you're in the city, if you live in the city, if you're from New York City and you heard St. Louis doing a story on this and people being aghast at this, it would be so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people who live in highly populous urban areas and they don't have cars and they don't know how to drive, and this is just what you have to do to function.
Yeah.
And in a lot of cases, like if you're in New York City, heck, if you're in St. Louis, would you rather your kid being walking from A to B or getting in an Uber and going a couple miles? I would put them in an Uber.
And especially when you can track it even easier. I think they're just trying to get ahead of the game, knowing that this already exists and knowing that people on the coast and in big cities would hear us talking about it and being surprised about it and saying something like, what? Adam Schiff is not backing.
That was a good Rick roll.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was really impressed with that
Thank
one.
you.
It was better than the first one.
I appreciate that. I'm never going to give up my day job.
Well,
Adam Schiff said,
hold on a second. I got to send an email.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Is this to HR or this to our boss? Because either one is probably fine.
Just you keep doing your thing.
Adam Schiff has said he was not backing down after a Republican from Florida filed a motion to expel the California representative from Congress. Now, this story is not surprising, but were referring to the failure the same day of a motion to expel George Santos for similar reasons, lying. But did you hear anything about Adam Schiff having the same treatment? Of course you didn't. You heard all about George Santos.
Wouldn't it be easy to make the case that Adam Schiff's lies are impossibly, massively worse than George Santos's?
Yes. The reason this is happening today is in light, or yesterday, is in light of the Durham report, because he was so intertwined with the Russia investigation and then proving that it was nothing there. There was no there. But it's incredible that this guy is now running for Senate. He may be the next senator from California in the future. Which makes me say,
what?
After 100 years, Oscar Mayer.
See, if you said that makes me say, and then we waited, and then you started playing Never Gonna Give You Up, Rickroll.
I mean, for the future, I'll note that.
I don't want you to do it in the future.
Well, in the future, I will note that you didn't want me to do it.
The entire next 3 months of the show is going to be Ryan trying to figure out how
Just
to rickroll us.
I mean, I'm going to be waiting
sound.
for it.
It'll be a rickroll.
Mm-hmm.
After 100 years, real quick, Oscar Mayer's famous hot dog shaped Wienermobile is getting a refresh. It won't be called the Wienermobile.
Why did you say hot dog shaped Wienermobile?
That's what the news story says.
Are there others? Different kinds?
I think there's just the one kind. I think there's several of that one kind.
I'm just saying, when you define the Wienermobile as a hot dog shape, it just implies that maybe there are other shapes of Wienermobiles.
No, there's just one. Same one, same length for all of them.
They're retiring it?
Well, no, they're going to keep the Wienermobile. They're just changing the name to the Frankmobile.
Subtle.
Yeah.
Because they saw that other Wienermobile and were like, ooh, this is confusing.
Yeah.
We'll be back with Tyrus in a minute. Don't go away.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Michael's Flooring Outlet is the locally owned, family operated, owned business where shopping for flooring becomes very simple, because you shop at Michael's Flooring Outlet and you start your process there. Maybe you finish it there. Usually people do, because they've checked out other places and they go, good grief, they have the same top quality products that maybe other places do, but they have the value. And the sales staff there is going to make you feel very confident and comfortable in your purchase. If you're looking for a carpeting for your house, if you are in a situation like I am, where you've got carpet in your house, it came with the house and your kids have, done a number on it, you need to replace it, and you go to Michael's Flooring Outlet, they'll give you the options of different types of pad that you can invest in, different types of carpeting aesthetics that you can look at, the Mohawk Smart Strand line that you can invest in, and it is going to transform the look, the feel, and that carpet smell, I love it, in your home. If you're looking to buy flooring, please consider shopping with our friends at Michael's Flooring Outlet. You can start your process online at igotfloored.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A big win for big tech. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The U.S. Supreme Court siding with Twitter in a fight over content used by terrorists.
This case was brought by the family of a man who was killed in a 2017 ISIS terror attack. Now, they had argued Twitter was at fault for allowing ISIS to post content on its platform, and they sued under the Anti-Terrorism Act.
Fox's chief legal correspondent Shannon Bream, the justices ruling unanimously that the plaintiffs didn't prove their case.
Quote, plaintiffs have failed to allege that defendants intentionally provided any substantial aid to the attack or otherwise consciously participated in it, much less that defendants so pervasively and systemically assisted ISIS as to render them liable for every ISIS attack.
However, the High Court sidestepped a question in a case against Google about whether federal law shields platforms from lawsuits stemming from user content. A court hearing in Texas for an illegal immigrant accused of killing 5 people in a mass shooting at a neighbor's house.
38-year-old Francisco Oropesa facing a judge for the first time for a status hearing in San Jacinto County, Texas, where more time is requested to complete investigations.
Just getting an idea of where we're going to go. The defense is going to have to, they're going to need certain things from the judge. Most of these things are going to be administrative.
Prosecutor Todd Dillon delaying a grand jury probe. Oropesa, a 4-time deportee, is charged with murdering his neighbors in Cleveland, Texas late last month. He was captured days later in neighboring Montgomery County, where 2 other people are charged with assisting in his escape.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene introducing articles of impeachment against President Biden. She calls them a threat to national security after introducing similar articles against the Attorney General, FBI Director, and Homeland Security Secretary. A White House spokesman calls it a shameless sideshow political stunt. America's listening to Fox News.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Jesse Kelly here. If given the choice between financial stress or peace of mind, I will always choose peace of mind. That is why I've secured gold and silver from the Oxford Gold Group. Having precious metals in your home safe or in your 401k or IRA should be considered your investment strategy. Simply put, it's a portfolio protection plan. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's it. You now own real precious metals just like I do. Call 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Going through our Thursday afternoon, sunny but hazy, milky skies at times coming from the fires out in western and central portions of Canada, kind of coming right across us. 82 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, 62. Friday, partly sunny, though a couple of fast-moving showers and thunderstorms Friday afternoon. 80 for the high, but dropping through the 70s Friday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
If you're a business owner, are you feeling the pressures of running your business? There's a limit to what you can do and still keep employees engaged. Insperity brings 30-plus years of HR experience to help you with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance while giving your employees competitive benefit options. You're able to focus on other priorities. Your employees can thrive and your business can grow. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Full-service HR, employee benefits, HR technology. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, and the Retirement Advisory Group Family Business makes their living off of helping you secure your retirement living. And that's a very key thing, that when you are getting to that later point of your career, maybe your late 50s, early 60s, and you know that the future is not going to look the same as the past, but you've never been there before. You've never done that before. How do you know that the direction you're headed in is going to provide you the worry-free retirement that you've always hoped for? Well, you partner with Thomas Helbig. You at least sit down with him for a free retirement review. He'll look at what you've got going so far, and he'll help shift you out of the phase you're in right now, which is just save, sacrifice, into, no, I'm going to live off of all of this savings. It's finally time for me to pay myself out of everything that I've set aside all of this time. You reach out to Thomas Helbig and set up a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review by calling 314-993-9494, and you will not regret it. RetirementKey.com.
If you're thinking about selling your St. Louis area home, you might be overwhelmed by the process, especially in this market. Mark Cox here. I strongly recommend you call and spend 5 minutes getting to know Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria understands you have questions and that selling your home can be stressful. She has mastered the home selling process with her Guaranteed Sold program. It simply states Gloria will sell your home at your agreed to price and time frame, or Gloria will buy it. So what's her secret? Gloria already has the buyers. The fact is, your home may already be sold. Let Gloria show you how she nets her home sellers more money and how she sells faster on average. Need more proof? Check out Gloria's 5-star reviews and get moving. Call Gloria Lou today at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and the seller must agree on price and possession date.
A natural gas leak can be found almost anywhere, even if you're out for an evening stroll in the neighborhood. An important safety tip from Mango, the Missouri Association of Natural Gas Operators. If you smell gas, act fast. Leave the area, go upwind, and from a safe location, call 911.
Join Mosby Building Arts every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. on 97.1 FM. Rich Orse and guests give insider tips about renovations, design, construction, exteriors, and more. Tune in to Right at Home with Rich on Saturdays or catch the podcast online.
Hey, it's Annie here. Join me and the entire AFS team on Friday, May 19th, as we broadcast live from the St. Clair County Republicans' 3rd Annual Chairman's Golf Tournament. Help us support conservative values locally. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I go in her office and she clicks on the lights and she says, take a look at all my Emmys. And I was like, she had one everywhere. And then there was pictures of all this really attractive woman. I almost said hot chick, but yeah, I apologize. But no, hot chicks all over the walls, right? And she's like, that's me. Look at me. She was a 10 before there was a metric system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Raquel Welch didn't have on Martha Stewart back in the day.
How dare you?
You need to check it out.
How dare you?
You had to be there. You were in your, mid-20s? So you should have checked that out. And you look around the thing, and then she said to me, can you believe someone divorced me? And I remember, I cannot. Like, she has been hot for decades. She even went to jail, got prison stripes. Like, there is no one cooler than Martha Stewart. So I will be buying that magazine. Absolutely.
You know, I think she was throwing it out there for you. I think she wanted you, and you did not react.
You know, I'm often asked if there was ever a hall pass, if I could have it. That's my hall pass.
Martha Stewart. I mean, if you don't know what a hall pass is, you have to Google it. I'm not going to explain it here. We're going to try to connect to Tyrus here. I'm going to ask you guys, have you seen I think we saw it here in the studio together.
I've seen the cover.
Martha Stewart is on the cover. I can't even believe this is a sentence in 2023. Martha Stewart is on the cover of the swimsuit edition of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
She looks great.
Yeah, she does.
I didn't realize she was 81 years old.
That's wild. I didn't know
that is the reason why I was like, okay, I kind of got to see this.
You know why I'm really happy about it? Because she's a freaking woman.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Sports Illustrated. This is weird.
Well, she got grandfathered in.
No, that's not what you would call it.
Grandmothered in.
Yeah, but also there is a trans model in that.
That's what I
edition.
understand. There's another. I don't know. What? I think that you have to ask. You first have to ask the question before you can react to Martha Stewart, 81-year-old Martha Stewart. Looking, I would say the word I would say is she looks beautiful on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Now, when I grew up in the 90s, the question you have to ask yourself is, what is the Sports Illustrated? what is the magazine for? And I would assume that the people in today's wokeified culture would say that we are a more refined culture right now. And I don't know, let's use a phrase from the Bud Light marketing exec, brilliant lady, I might add, that the fratty culture of Bud Light, the very problematic culture of Bud Light, needed to be rectified. And You would say the same thing about Sports Illustrated. Now, I don't know how many people are buying Sports Illustrated or subscribing to it in the 90s versus now. You cannot compare those numbers because that was a non-digital age and now we have a digital age.
Mm-hmm.
It's just different. But what is the Sports Illustrated magazine for? Because if you have Martha Stewart on the front of the cover and you have transgender women inside the magazine, it is not for heterosexual male America, which is what it was for in the 90s. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It seems as if they're trying really hard to justify the existence of the swimsuit edition. I don't know how Sports Illustrated in general is doing, but that was always just a novelty magazine that came out once a year. We're so far beyond the necessity of that.
Let me float a hypothesis by you guys. So in the 90s, that is not what Sports Illustrated was. It was Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition was a much more racy, sexually tantalizing magazine.
Yeah, it was trying to be right on the edge.
What we didn't have in the early 90s is the prevalence of high-speed internet. And what has come along with the prevalence of high-speed internet is much more graphic pornography. And so while Sports Illustrated in the 90s was walking on the edge, there's no way that it can compete with that now. So the way that Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition stays relevant is by having 81-year-old Martha Stewart on there and by having a trans model on there. And
relevant to whom?
That's a good question.
Well, it just creates headlines because we're talking about it now.
But it doesn't. I didn't buy anything Sports Illustrated, and I could see that cover. You have to there has to be some brand affiliation. The whole goal of a marketing meeting, an advertising campaign, boardroom discussion is to say, how do we make this Bud Light can mean something in the hands of the person who's drinking it? Because if it means something to them, when they walk into their grocery store and they go to purchase their beer, they're just going to walk directly to the blue box, pick it up, and walk back out. They're not going to walk down and take in all of these different kinds of options because there are so many options in the beer category. They're not going to do that. They're just going to walk for the blue box. And if we can get the blue box to be on the end cap, they don't even walk into the aisle because it's a Bud Light, put it in my hand, done, period, end of story. Magazines, I understand the plight of a magazine these days, but here's a question for you, heterosexual men in the room. If you look at all of the ad campaigns that lean so heavily into the Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light situation, the stupid Miller Lite, we don't have any sound from that, do we? That's just dumb. I don't even want to taint the airwaves with that audio. Another dumb beer ad. But if you look at what they're doing, they're trying to rectify a wrong that exists, that everybody quietly handshake agrees on that exists. And the wrong that exists is heterosexual men. I mean, it really can be simplified to that. The idea that you would put a beautiful woman on the Sports Illustrated magazine cover who happens to be 81, who's presented in a very tasteful way. Someone said, how airbrushed is she? I'm here to tell you folks, when it comes to airbrushing, if the model is happy with it, I don't care. It's not, you don't put anybody on the cover of Sports Illustrated magazine I got in an argument in a media law class with Dr. Voss over this very issue because she was saying how it's funny because it's I don't know, maybe she was the media exec who screwed up Bud Light. But her point was to the class how anti-feminist and how problematic people who try to sell beer with bikini-clad women, how much of an issue that is. And so I, being the smartass that I am, raise my hand and go, those women are being paid to do that. They're not being held hostage and said, put this bikini on and hold this case of beer. We want to sell beer. That's not happening. They're getting paid to be in that bikini. They were working their butts off, in some cases, literally, because it was the 90s, butts weren't in then. And They're working really hard to look the way they look in a bikini so that when they hold a can of beer, they get paid for it. That's a choice they're making. Feminism. Yay. It's weird, isn't it? It's very incestuous in certain kinds of ways like that. You kind of have to eat your own in order to understand the progress of feminism. But the idea that you would somehow or another look at a woman who has taken a job and probably won a job that other women didn't get. They got beat out by the woman who's in the ad campaign, and they're getting paid to do this is somehow in 2004 or 5 when I was in media law, that was problematic. I got called to her office after that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
She said, I need to see you in my office afterwards. And she told me not to challenge her anymore.
You're kidding.
I literal true story. I said, did I say anything that was wrong? And she said, I don't want you to challenge me in this classroom like that anymore. And I was not rude. She just was, she was super, super put off by the fact that I disagreed. And I said, well, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to study my butt off for your class. I'm going to get an A in this class. And I won't talk to you in the classroom anymore, ever again. And then I walked out and I told my dad, who I would tell about all these things. I'm like, I am maybe not going to pass this class. And I got an A. I got an A in media law. I won, and the Bud Light Bikini Girls won. And she probably is still making boatloads of $6-figure dollars in a university somewhere, whatever.
Every heterosexual man in America was happy.
And that was the problem.
I think what you're onto is real. It's not that there's scantily clad women on there. It's that there's scantily clad women, but men are enjoying that.
For whose benefit?
Right. And the problem is too, the same people that are like, women shouldn't have done that, as objectifying women, are the same ones out there that are out there like, you go girl, whenever they create an OnlyFans account. You look at that and you call that female empowerment, but guys, you better not like what they're doing. It's so insane.
The people who are thrusting their sexuality. Ooh. I'm not gonna say that. Sexuality is in front of us everywhere we look all the time. You cannot escape it. But it's not being thrust in front of you in a tantalizing way. It's
not anymore.
No, it's an agree with me or you're finished. There are people who will look at sexuality. It used to be sex sells.
Mm-hmm.
They're still doing it. It's just not sexy.
It's such a weird world that we live in because 20 years ago, maybe even further than that, I was definitely not in the camp, and I'm not now necessarily. It's just that that's how far the road has gone.
Mm.
I was not in the camp of people who was going, you know what we need to stand up for the rights for is for women to show more skin publicly. I mean, that's not the idea of sex sells is to elicit a response.
A biological response.
A biological response, usually lust.
It's actually one that the less you think about it, the more effective it is.
Yes. And at the time, and I'm not advocating for that now. It's just
yes,
you're almost, it's almost that we've gone so far past
Ryan's here
it.
going, take it off. Take it off.
That it's so weird to be looking at myself in the mirror from several years ago and going, I'd actually prefer we go back to that I wasn't even really in favor of at the time because it was instilling a lustful response, which I was never in favor of. But now, like you're saying, we've gone so far past it.
No, it's the same thing. That's the point. It's the same thing. What they're doing now is what they were doing then. They have changed the parameters and they are force feeding you what your visceral biological response has to be in order for you to be included in this day and age culture. And it doesn't work. That's the thing. You look at Bud Light, it didn't work. It doesn't work. And I will say this every single time we talk about this issue. If you don't want your Bud Light or the beer can that you're holding or the beer that you have to publicly order in a bar somewhere, if you want to just order a beer and not have it be attached to some sort of cultural phenomenon, not have it be attached to All right, everybody stop and listen. Ryan's going to order a beer. Let's find out if he hates transgender people. Ryan? I mean, that's what
you're right.
That's what the marketing exec is saying. They're saying, what turns you on, Ryan? And they're conflating that with trying to pin on you your self-manifestation of hatred towards somebody who they want to highlight is marginalized. But the way that Bud Light failed and fell so flat on its face, and I cannot stress this enough, they didn't even mean it. They don't even actually care. That's the problem. There's no soul to it. There's no heart in it. They saw Dylan Mulvaney has this many followers. What's Dylan celebrating? 365 days of girlhood? Give him a can. We'll attach ourselves to all of those followers. And when people say, when they do it and people go, really? That? They go, oh, no. No, it was just one can. Which is it? Stand for something. If you want to go there and you want to bring other people there with Bud Lights in hand, you got to stand there and own it. And they didn't own it. And none of these companies mean it. They just think. They put their finger up in the wind and they say, where are all the people? And in a digital age where we can quantify where the quote unquote people are by followers and likes and subscribes and all of that, they go, oh, the people over there. And then they just run as fast as they can over there. And they get these misinformed people. And I want to talk about this when we come back. These misinformed people who have not grown up in a culture that deals in reality because their consequence-free lives don't require them to live in reality. They're incredibly misguided. I'm going to talk about that when we come back. The idea of what marketing and advertising is in 2023, and I'm going to see if Brad and Ryan agree with me on that. When we come back, that discussion, plus we need your vote on the YouTube live chat poll. Would Ron DeSantis be a good president, yes or no? Would he be a good president? We want to know what you think. Leave your comments. Hannah's looking for those as well. Back in a minute. Don't go away.
The pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Trying to hold on to didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard.
So Air Comfort Service has a great deal right now. And if you don't act now, at least have the phone call. Make the phone call and start the conversation because the offer ends May 26th. This is through May 26th. If you have been thinking you might need a new air conditioning system, they have a hybrid HVAC system bundle available for you. Savings up to $7,500 in manufacturer utility rebates and tax credits on this hybrid HVAC system. If you bundle your new hybrid system with attic insulation, they're going to throw an additional 20% off. Air Comfort Service understands all of the different things that can go into your air conditioning unit, not providing you the comfort zone that you are paying for it to provide. Energy isn't cheap. So when you look at how Air Comfort Service comes in and they will look at your HVAC system and they say, you know what? It looks like it's working great. Good news. You don't need to replace the air conditioner, but let's talk about what your insulation is doing for your home. 9 out of 10 homes are under insulated. Go to aircomfortservice.com/insulation to learn about how they can help you with that issue. And if you want to save big on that HVAC hybrid system bundle, it's through May 26th. You got to call them today. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. aircomfortservice.com.
Learn to make money 5 ways with rental real estate. Double your money with apartments and get your map to financial freedom. And that map starts with a free workshop. Sign up now at lifestylesunlimited.com. Click on the Join Free Workshop tab and attend online or in person. That's lifestylesunlimited.com. Lifestylesunlimited.com. Again, that's lifestylesunlimited.com. Limited seating, unlimited potential.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
So much of what makes us a family takes place in our homes, and that's why you want to keep your home very, very clean. I depend on Zero Res. I have pets. 2 dogs, 3 cats. Sometimes that means pet stains and odors. So outside of my little 8-year-old, I want to keep the home clean, and Zero Res makes that happen. You should trust in the power of Zero Res to take care of your home. They don't use harsh soaps or chemicals. ZR water is tough on stains and dirt while still safe for you and your family. So contact Zero Res today to clean your home, because a clean home is a healthy home. Check out the 4,600 plus raving customer reviews online with a 4.9 Google rating. Call 474-2020 to get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned, Zero Resified the right way, starting at $129, and take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Make sure you mention my name, Mark Reardon. Zero Res, spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Refresh, restore, and protect your investment. Now's the best time to book Zero Res for your business or office cleaning to get you ready to provide for your employees and patrons for the summer of 2023. Zero Res. Check him out today at ZeroResSTL.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 54 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Andrew Bailey, the Attorney General of Missouri.
And then I'm proud to say we achieved our objective, which is immediate removal. We can start restoring the rule of law and finding justice for victims. I'm telling you, things are already better.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
This was all you, none of it me.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Told me you were ready for the big one, for the big jump. I'd be your last love, everlasting, you and me. That was what you told me. I'm giving you up, I'm forgiving it all. You set me free.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Just a throwback to Wiggins America. Info dude on our YouTube channel said Wienermobile changed to Frankmobile is much better than becoming the Furtermobile.
I don't know.
Would you rather? Oh, there's the Furtermobile.
I don't know that anybody in America really calls them Frankfurters, so yeah, I think I'd go with it.
Nobody in America calls them Franks.
Nobody calls them Franks either.
Nobody calls them Franks.
Doesn't somebody, like one borough in New York, isn't that what they're called or something?
I am not. I am in a borough in St. Louis. I don't know.
Let me go back to my time in New York.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did hear them called Frankfurters the one time I've been to Europe. So I do know that that's what they're called there. But outside of Europe, I don't think so. Maybe we could fly a Wienermobile over there. Maybe we could give the Wienermobile wings. I mean the Frankmobile.
The Furtermobile.
The Furtermobile.
So we've been talking about just kind of the way that Sports Illustrated puts Martha Stewart on the cover, and she's in a swimsuit. It's a swimsuit edition. She's in a swimsuit. She looks beautiful. And when you see her, and like Brad said, she's 81. You go, girl. You look great. Is she airbrushed? Probably. If I were on the cover of Sports Illustrated, I'd be like, use all of the airbrushes. Like, make me look the best I can possibly look without any sense of me looking like a human 40-year-old. Like, you do that thing up.
Yeah, when I'm 81, I want to look exactly
treatment.
like that.
It would be to your benefit. Why is Sports Illustrated putting Martha Stewart on the cover? A lot of people could discuss that. I'm just happy they put a woman on the cover, and I don't care how old she is. At least she is a woman, and I'm happy to see that. Adidas has a campaign out right now, and they're showing swimsuits, and they're using trans female models to market swimsuits. And there's a lot of detail in those photos. And I'm not seeing that going, oh, I think I would look great. That looks like me in that picture.
I honestly That's the first time I've even heard that it was supposed to be a trans. I thought it was just they were just putting a guy in the swimsuit.
I think it's trans.
Maybe. I have no idea. I'm looking at it right now, though.
Think for a second about it's very important to get your headspace into those boardrooms where they're making decisions. When you see something like this, we all work in media here, and we know what it takes to get an advertising campaign together. We have great sponsors who partner with us on the Annie Frey Show. That's how you get to listen to this show for free and turn it off for free. You have no investment if you're watching us anywhere. If you're listening to the podcast, there's no quarter to put in the machine. You can turn it on, you can turn it off as fast as you want to. It's up to you. We get to do that because we partner with people, and we have an incredible audience that I champion to the clients that I select to partner with. And that's how this works. In order to get an ad campaign on a national scale, on a television ad buy, in print, you think about Bud Light's the biggest one that everyone's talking about right now, but there's a lot of prep that goes into that.
Sure.
And if you have a boardroom full of people who are paid to brainstorm ideas, there's a lot of stuff that gets thrown out into conversation that never gets done. And you have one conversation, one idea, one concept, it gets put out, then it gets picked apart and put back together and picked apart and put back together. And then eventually we'll see it on our television screen. And you have to go through that process in order to come up with a good ad campaign. It's difficult. It's complicated. It's very scientific in the way that you choose to do every single second of a produced commercial. And when I'm thinking about these people who are probably our age and younger, who are starting to be in these higher level positions, your mid-30s, early 40s, these people who are at the higher levels of the conversations, leading the conversations, you definitely in advertising want to have younger audiences that are tapped into. You want to have younger minds in those conversations so that you can have a well-rounded, you can't have a bunch of 65-year-old, been in the industry forever executives trying to figure out how to sell beer to 25-year-olds. You need to have people in the room participating in the conversation who are of that group or able to articulate that experience. What are people... Well, let me ask you this question first, Ryan. When you were in college, did you experience any kind of leftist influence in your courses that you took? And what's your degree in?
My degree is in journalism, emphasis in advertising, with a minor in creative writing. So we're talking about a lot of artistic, journalism. You could picture what it was like. I can think of one professor who openly said that he was not liberal, and he was an advertising professor. And I can think of one professor who I secretly thought was conservative. Every other person that I encountered within academia, and this includes my time working at the newspaper for the college, were openly far left.
If the professor didn't say anything political, it was a good indication that they were probably pretty conservative.
That's the one that I was saying. I think that guy might have been conservative because he kind of just didn't talk about it.
It's super easy to talk about. There were no parameters behind, oh, you shouldn't.
You were encouraged to, honestly. Yes. I mean, the whole system encouraged
And it was assumed that as a college student that you would be on the left of center so that you would hear that conversation and welcome it, which is why, like the story I just told, when as a conservative, I spoke up in this class, she just essentially told me I wasn't allowed to talk anymore.
Yeah. Or at least that if you came from a conservative background, that you were there to broaden your horizons. You were supposed to leave that behind. This is where we indoctrinate you.
That's cute.
Yeah, here's why you're here. Oh, that's neat that you used to think that.
Your parents,
but you obviously don't now, right?
Probably have a dog named Reagan, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the point that I'm going to make here. We went through journalism broadcasting school. I have a communications degree, and it was default left. I don't know that I had a single professor who was conservative. Not I can't think of one. And they weren't all like down your throat about it, but that's the way it was. It has so far gone way more in your face, way more aggressive that I really wonder what I would have if I were me in university today. I don't know that they would allow me to stay because I pushed back and I gotten, air quotes, trouble for it a couple of times, but it didn't stop me from pushing back. And what kids face today, it's so much easier to just shut up and try to get a good grade. Just go to class, do what you got to do, get the good grade. But if you're impressionable, if you come into that scenario, if you come into that classroom and you don't have a worldview politically, you're going to get not a healthy dose. You're going to get pummeled with leftist ideology. And this whole diversity, equity, and inclusion thing that Ron DeSantis has pushed back against in Florida, that's one of the latest things that he called it discrimination, something in indoctrination. I can't remember what he said the E was. This is what college is for now. It doesn't really matter what your degree is in. Colleges and universities are using their time in class to establish and reinforce very far leftist ideology. Every single parent I hear about that sends their kids to a state university or a bigger college, to me, like the safest place is your local community college. They all say that they're afraid of what their kid's going to come back and say and believe, or that they don't recognize their kids anymore. This has been happening since, I graduated college in 06. You?
03.
03. Both in a post 9/11 world that we were in at college participating in. This is the type of person who for that long has now been working its way into boardrooms and marketing and advertising. And they're in these rooms. And this is what really blows my mind. All of the brand manager positions, all of the brand managing now seems like we need to manage the real thing that matters here into the brand that you become attached to. You don't get a job at a huge company with a huge brand so that you can take that brand and innovate it and grow it to be even bigger and build on its legacy to be even more financially successful because you came up with the campaign that really put it on the map in a new place. It's not about that anymore. The brand managers get their brand in college. And the task is to take that brand that you are managing now and apply it into culture, to take it into boardrooms and advertising discussions and figure out how do you take the brand, and the brand is woke. I know you hate that word. I hate the word too, but it's the easiest one to say, which is why the people who hate the word hate it, because it's all encompassing. The brand that is being managed now is fortified in college so that it can be used to infiltrate the rest of culture, the rest of our society once they get out of college and they graduate and they go into the real working world. That is the management that is taking place right now. And it's so magnificent to see it falling so squarely flat on its face.
Mm-hmm.
There is a huge opportunity here to snap back immediately into celebrating brands for what the brands are there to do. And it's okay if you say this beer is shared with people when they're happy, when they're sad, when they need, a friend to share a beer with so you can have a conversation. When you're put in a long day's work and you need to kick back and relax, what helps you do that? You crack open a Bud Light. That's what the beer is. It's not about any of the other stuff. And that's what is so disgusting about the new brand management that exists in this country that has been manufactured in university systems, which is that nothing else matters. The only thing that matters is that they thrust this into your face so that everybody has to be put You have to be on record where you are on these issues. You can't escape it. You pick your beer, you're making a choice. You pick your running shoe, you're making a choice. You pick your swimsuit, you're making a choice. Nothing is safe. That's the goal of the people who have the stranglehold on our education system. And it used to just be at colleges. It's in high schools now. It's in junior highs now. It is in elementary schools now. And we have to, with our dollars, say, is there a beer that would just like to taste great and just let me drink the beer? is there a beer out there that's just interested in being beer? Because I would like to buy that beer. And I don't even drink beer. Is there a coffee out there that's just interested in being coffee? In a really fantastic, great cup of coffee. Can I get that cup of coffee? I'll pay more for that cup of coffee. So I don't feel like I'm going into a reality that I don't even understand when I'm ordering a latte. What a huge open frontier with no competition exists in that space right now for advertising.
Well, that's why, I mean, we've talked about today, I don't even know if this was on air, but the chocolate company, Jeremy's Chocolates or whatever that was.
Yeah, speaking of.
Check and see, because we're supposed to have the order in today, and we want the chocolate. They're stepping into that. The Daily Wire has no business selling chocolate. Yet there's such a massive hole in the industry for these things that they're like, sure, we'll step into it. I don't even know if we're going to do it well. You're going to get your chocolates 12 weeks later, but they still sold a bunch.
30, like, true story. I bought the what were they called? He, him, and she, her chocolates from the Daily Wire because they came out right after, I don't even remember.
It was the Hershey woke thing, whatever that was.
Stupid. I paid $32.50 for these chocolates because I want to have them in here. We're going to try them if we find them. They said that this is the problem. There's a little inside information here on the Annie Frey Show. The chocolates got delivered according to my email confirmation, but the chocolates aren't out there.
We don't know where they are.
Yeah.
They may be in the building. We just don't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna go check the Dave Glover Show. You walk in and they got chocolate all over. He's like, what you talking about? I probably have to share with them a chocolate bar now for that. But I bought those and I'm sitting here thinking, if I don't get these chocolates, I guess if they said they're delivered and I don't get them, do I just order some more? And I'm like, I'm not even mad that I spent the $32 because I didn't buy the chocolates for the purpose of wanting chocolates. You don't buy chocolates that you really want that you have to wait 12 weeks to get.
Yeah, right.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah, people just want to, they just want a product and they're so sick of not just having a product, that everything is virtue signaling, that there is a hole now created for products that will fill in that marketing gap by saying, we're not that.
Right. Give it a wink, a nod.
Conservatives aren't even saying that you need to be conservative in your ads.
No, we are A-okay if you're transgender and you want to buy the beer.
Totally fine.
Not a problem. High five. I'll drink the beer with you.
Just sell me on the product attributes, not how it affects culture. You don't always have to do that.
We're all millennials, but that is so Gen X.
Yes, it is.
Tap into the Gen X and honestly, the money-making half of the millennials right now. That's how you sell them stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm reading a book of short stories right now by a writer from Stephen Colbert. Obviously not a right-winger. She's writing a story, and the joke of the story is that she's as a character from the past who comes to the present. Everything that she's trying to buy has a story. It's like this person's going, why do all my products need to tell me their life story?
Right.
I just want to eat peanuts or whatever.
It's exhausting. And there are going to be times, I'm certainly one of these people, I get criticized for it a lot. I also don't care. Sometimes you want to spend your money on something that other people aren't going to agree with. It just needs, mind your own business about how I spend my money, and also companies, mind your own business about how I spend my money. Just give me good products and I will spend my money on it. And if there's a conflict there, it will be up to me to decide. Let's talk more about it. When we come back. And also, I'm going to ask you guys this question. YouTube live chat poll question. Would Ron DeSantis be a good president? Yes or no? Your comments and vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Stick around. I'm going to go on a chocolate hunt. BRB.
Ooh, nice.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFrey Show.
couldn't handle the hot heat rising. Baby, I'm so rising.
PreventSprainsSocks.com. These socks go on your feet and they hug your feet in all the right ways. They make it so that you can stay active. And if you have issues with your feet, I busted my ankle big time. My senior year of high school, volleyball, 17 years old, volleyball practice. I was blocking and the girl who was hitting came under the net. I landed on her ankle and there it went. I rolled my ankle, puffed up huge. And ever since then, I have been dealing with a weak left ankle. It's even affected my knee. You might understand how that works. You might have those same kind of injuries. When I wear my Prevent Sprain socks, it gives me the support I need to have the confidence so that I can play athletics, I can do sports, I can play with my kids with confidence, and I don't have to worry about those weak ankles. They're strengthened because of the way that I wear them. They increase blood flow, which in turn lessens muscle and ankle fatigue, and they report have 50% less recovery time when you do wear these socks. I've also worn them while I'm walking and after I've walked a ton, and they do wonders. They have socks for golfers, for basketball players, for everything. You go online and find them at PreventSprainsSocks.com.
Hello, I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. I'm so proud that we've helped over 15,000 businesses claim over $5 billion in cash incentives. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. Every client is assigned a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to accurately determine eligibility. Innovation Refunds has hundreds of 5-star reviews on Trustpilot and Google, and your business might be entitled to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Businesses of all types can qualify, including medical, professional, construction, even nonprofits. Please don't miss out on this. Even your doctor would tell you to get an expert second opinion, and we do a lot of work for doctors. Download the Innovation Refunds app now or go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of $26,000 per employee. GetRefunds.com. GetRefunds.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Or see what your home is really worth in today's market? Find out for free from the local experts, my friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. Check out thegelmanteam.com today. That's thegelmanteam.com.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. Over the past decade, Coalition Life has served thousands of women in crisis pregnancies, helping to save the lives of the children that they carry. Help us build a better community while also reducing or completely eliminating your Missouri taxes with a 70% tax credit. A $1,000 donation today to help these women could cost you as little as $141 out of pocket. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com. Thank you.
Today's YouTube live chat poll is asking, would Ron DeSantis make a good president? Yes or no? Log into the Annie Frey Show YouTube channel to vote on that. I will give the results at 2:45. The current time is 1:49 p.m. This update is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
Mining for truth in a landscape of BS. 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
I got this target right here on my back. Aiming where I was, now there.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We are glad that you're here with us today. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this because it's just patently ignorant, but listen to Cori Bush here.
The United States has a moral and legal obligation to provide reparations for the enslavement of Africans. Black people in our country cannot wait any longer for our government to begin addressing each and every one of the extraordinary bits of harm, all of the harm it has caused since the founding.
What? Do you know her proposal is going to cost $16 trillion? T.
I'm glad that you didn't know what was. I was trying to follow, but I thought, am I missing?
I was confused.
The thesis?
Too.
I don't think it matters what she says. It's Cori Bush. She's saying reparations, African slavery, United States is sinful. Government needs to fork over money so that people, I don't even know who qualifies. It's such utter nonsense. St. Louis, you're embarrassing yourselves. Get rid of her. Get rid of her.
Wow.
Maybe Kim Gardner will run for that office.
No.
Yep. Maybe. One could only hope.
They should get in office and do nothing.
Isn't there anybody? Yeah, no kidding. Just do what you did at the circus attorney's office. Just don't show up. Become a dental hygienist.
Yeah.
With your spare time. She's gonna have a lot of careers. Hannah, you want to read us the YouTube poll?
Yes, today's YouTube live chat poll is asking, would Ron DeSantis make a good president? Yes or no?
Hannah?
Absolutely. Everybody knows I love me some Ron DeSantis. He would be my pick if he was the candidate. I
should
really
ask you
like
this question
him,
yesterday.
Really like his policies. Huge fan of Ron DeSantis. I love the way that he governs Florida, and I think I would be super lucky if he was the president of the United States.
Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, we all want to get lucky and have Ron DeSantis as a president someday. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes emphatically to that question.
Are you saying if it were Biden, you wouldn't be lucky?
No, I'm saying since nobody can hear what you're saying, way off air, that if you had a Joe Biden in president, theoretically, no one would feel lucky.
No one gets lucky.
No one gets lucky.
It's a whole campaign right there.
Well, you can get your hair smelled.
Ew. I guess everybody defines getting lucky differently.
Yes, we do.
Hannah?
I'm done saying get lucky on this show. I don't know what I don't understand about that, but
one of the all-time best Annie Frey Show YouTube shorts is the Hannah, was it Friday? And it was St. Patrick's Day. And Hannah's question, and during our Ask Me Anything segment, was, when was the last time you felt like you got lucky? And Ryan and I,
innocent,
the children that we are, we didn't even really say anything. We just giggled.
I was so excited and passionate about that question. I was really, in the St. Patrick's Day mode, and then I realized what came out of my mouth, and I was so embarrassed. And of course, Anna made a short out of it.
And you got mad at me.
It's great.
Well, because I told you I was asking that before the show.
Wait a second, time out. I think she's still mad at you.
I have the same innocent mind that you do.
Aww,
they did the same thing to me.
They.
Yeah.
They.
You and Ryan.
That's not our pronoun.
You and Ryan.
We are Annie and Ryan.
She, her, and he, him.
We are not a unit.
Correct.
Glad we clarified that. But yep, I talked about getting lucky on air.
Would Ron DeSantis be a good president? Yes or no, Brad?
Yes, I like the way that he wields government power to effectively govern. That to me has been the biggest problem with the Republican Party for years, is they're afraid to wield the power of government to advance their cause, to advance conservative causes. And Ron DeSantis has zero problem doing that.
I'm a huge yes on this. Ron DeSantis is my pick. Any Republican that is running for office, and probably a handful of Democrats who would run for office, would be better than what we have right now. And I think Ron DeSantis is our best opportunity to get this country rapidly where it needs to be. I don't think that there's anything, this is probably unpopular to a lot of super Trump fans, and I get it, but I disagree. I don't think that there's anything that Ron DeSantis can't do as the president that Donald Trump could do. I know Donald Trump, in many ways, shapes, and forms, knows where the bodies are buried, and he knows where the swamp is the swampiest. if he's truly interested in rectifying that, I do believe that the problem needs to be solved outside of him, just on behalf of the country. I think that that's important for the biggest, largest benefit for the United States as a nation. I think that it has to be done for Donald Trump and the country. And I don't know that Donald Trump doing it himself will actually have that same impact. But if Donald Trump wins the primary, which right now the polls say he absolutely is going to do, he's got my vote.
I just loathe how much these questions now affect our lives. I wish that it was just back to the day of, well, the pendulum's going to swing back and forth. Each side has their ups and each side has their downs. And somewhere in the middle, we'll find common ground and we'll find the way together. But these things, they impact so many aspects of your daily life that they matter immensely.
And it was never meant to be that way.
On the Annie-Fry YouTube channel, go vote in the live chat. We want to know what you think. Leave your comment. Hannah's starring them. And probably the nicer you are to Ron DeSantis, the more likely she is to read your comment on the air. But send some in there if you disagree, too. We'll feature those at 2:45. More Annie-Fry show around the corner. Don't go away.
I saw my last dream. Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
STS-armory.com. If you're looking for a firearm dealer in the state of Illinois that knows the rules, the laws, the regulations, boy, there are a few. I lament. You need to go to somewhere that is going to help you navigate that system to make sure that you can still exercise your Second Amendment exactly how you intended to, and honestly, how the Founding Fathers intended to. 618-931-GUNS, 618-931-4867. If you have been thinking about firearm safety classes for maybe the littler people in your household, you reach out to STS Armory. They do kids and teens firearm safety classes and education. This is a very important thing for people to understand. In your house, if you do have firearms there, what do you do if you see a firearm? How do you alert the necessary people in your house if you see a firearm? These are things that need to be taught, and STS Armory is top-notch when it comes to responsible gun ownership and operation. I am a customer of theirs, and I encourage you to check them out as well. 618-931-GUNS in Pontoon Beach, online at sts-armory.com.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AAMCO.
Hey, Bernie Federico here. Over the years, you've heard me talk about Lakeside Renovation and Design. My friends Matt and Dan have been in the business for over 25 years and have done everything on my home, from James Hardy siding, Infinity from Marvin Windows, and even a couple of room additions. These guys are great, and you can trust them with your home. Check out their website to see for yourself all the beautiful work they've done. You can find them online at lakesidrenovationanddesign.com. Be sure to ask about their unbelievable financing options. Lakeside Renovation and Design.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This doesn't happen often. Lisa Brady, Fox News. All 9 Supreme Court justices agree in a ruling that sides with a social media company, one of 2 cases accusing tech firms of aiding terrorists.
American relatives of a Jordanian victim killed in a 2017 terror attack in Turkey cannot hold Twitter accountable for that death. A unanimous ruling by the justices reversed an appeals court and concluded plaintiffs failed to allege the defendants intentionally provided any substantial aid to the attack or otherwise consciously participated. Most family members say Twitter provided a platform for terrorists to communicate.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. In a separate case, the family of an American college student killed in a Paris terror attack accused Google and subsidiary YouTube of allowing videos that promote violence. The Supreme Court sending that case back to a lower court. A House hearing on allegations of the FBI being politicized raises political complaints among committee members.
The hearing of the House Judiciary Subcommittee on Government Weaponization invited FBI whistleblowers who say they were targeted because of some link to the Capitol riot. Federal agent Garrett O'Boyle said even after a decorated law enforcement career,
I've been smeared as a malcontent and subpar FBI employee.
FBI staffer Marcus Allen said, like O'Boyle, his federal clearance was taken based on an unproven claim
that I hold conspiratorial views regarding the events of January 6, 2021.
Some of the hearing's testimony was overshadowed by Democrats' complaints that they weren't given the same access to documentation that committee Republicans had.
Fox's Gernal Scott. A letter from the FBI to Congress defends the suspension of those whistleblowers. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer decides not to cancel a planned recess next week, but he's telling members to be able to return to the Senate within a 24-hour period as talks on the debt limit continue between the White House and House Republicans. America is listening to Fox News.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Jesse Kelly here. I'm not a financial expert, but I do look for solid investment opportunities for investment growth and protection against loss. I do know that putting all your eggs in one basket is not a good financial plan. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver with Oxford Gold is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Or you can buy precious metals and keep them in your safe. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Going through our Thursday afternoon, sunny but hazy, milky skies at times coming from the fires out in western and central portions of Canada, kind of coming right across us. 82 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, 62. Friday, partly sunny, though a couple of fast-moving showers and thunderstorms Friday afternoon. 80 for the high, but dropping through the 70s Friday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk, Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
I rave about Fountains Family Dentistry all the time. Make them your dentist. They're in Fairview Heights, Illinois. But you don't have to just trust me. Look them up online. You're going to see the reviews for yourself. I can't have anything to do with that. There's no way I can manipulate that. Look them up, and you're going to see that all the sites that have dentist reviews or even business reviews, they're always top tier. I'm looking at one right now that 104 reviews, 5 stars out of 5. One great review says, the medication for my procedure today just worn off, and I'm surprised to share with you that my teeth feel better than they have in weeks. I was anticipating some pain after 3 hours in the dental chair, but I have none. So that's another thing to highlight, that if you need serious work, not only do they do it and they do it well, but it's not going to take your whole day. You know, I always would plan out an entire day because your mouth's numb. You know, they're so good at limiting those things, and they're so good at everything. The review also says, couldn't ask for better service from 3 great people, highlighting Dr. Parker, Patty, and Steve. So see them, fountainsfamilydentistry.com. That's the website. You can make an appointment right there online, fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town and Country, Missouri, 63017. CordellCordell.com.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet?
Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
At Underlaw, we're looking for brave clients who've been injured and are ready to stand beside us in our fight to improve the safety of our community.
Call Underlaw Personal Injury Lawyers at 314 or 618 $9
Siding Express can totally transform the look of your home by installing Hardy Shake, board and batten, or a stone accent to make it your dream home. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardy contractor. Go to sidingexpress.com to schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join our growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. May is National Bike Month, so use your bike instead of your car or for a little bit of exercise. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
You're listening to award-winning, thought-provoking talk. You're listening to 97.1 FM Talk.
Your home for conservative talk.
On the air for over 20 years.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not a married sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. This was something that was said, this is 8 days ago, on Sean Hannity's television show.
A federal indictment against Hunter Biden now appears imminent. The president's son could be arraigned as early as tomorrow. He could wind up going to prison. The Washington Post is now reporting that prosecutors are now nearing a decision on felony tax charges and gun charges after meeting with Hunter Biden's lawyers late last week. So make no mistake, tensions are very high at the Biden White House tonight.
So, I feel like Sean Hannity and the TikTok thing. TikTok. How many times has he said that?
Oh, not in reference to the app. You're saying like clock's counting down, TikTok.
Yes.
Yes.
Have you ever heard him say that?
It sounds familiar.
Brad, have you ever heard him list off something? Lindsey Graham's coming up next, TikTok. You ever heard him say that?
I have not.
Oh my gosh. You guys don't watch Sean Hannity, do you?
Not enough.
Not at all. He says it every night.
You know what? That may be a TV thing because I would listen to him on the radio before, but not on TV.
I can't handle. There's no suspense left in the game. You can look at what is coming out of these FBI whistleblower hearings, and you can let's listen to Matt Gaetz. This is from today.
The SEC and the ASAC were intimately aware of these kinds of exchanges that were going on. And again, to his credit, Joe Bonavolonta said, no, we're not opening up cases on people who went to a rally. And I forgot a key part. The SSA for CT2 said, happy to do it. Show us where they were inside the Capitol and we'll look into it. To which WFO said, we can't show you those videos unless you can tell us the exact time and place those individuals were inside the Capitol. To which the SSA responded back, and I was privy to these conversations firsthand. Why can't you show us? Why can't you just send us give us access to the 11,000 hours of video that's available? Because there may be UC's undercover officers or CHS's confidential confidential human sources on those videos whose identity we need to protect.
Does it disturb anybody that in January 6th, they couldn't release specific videos because there were potentially undercover officers who would have been revealed? And if you're undercover, I mean, that's not saying that you're going to show the inside of the Capitol building and there are going to be uniformed officers in there. We're talking about undercover officers who are a part of January 6th. I think this has been a very big question that a lot of people have had about January 6th. Like, who was all involved? Josh Hawley, I think it was, grilled Merrick Garland. Am I remembering that correctly? And was asking, was there anybody involved? And they wouldn't answer the question.
No, they wouldn't. And that's also a ridiculous defense right now. If you see footage of that really anywhere at the Capitol on January 6th, everybody's holding up cell phones. There is so much video of that compromising somebody, that there's so much video of those people already out there that adding something from a security camera isn't adding anything.
Yeah,
as far as compromising somebody's identity.
But when you listen to that, WFO is Washington field office. So from the FBI's Washington field office, they knew that they had people, or they said they might have people in that crowd. That's the issue here. We were talking about that a little bit earlier in the show. FBI agents in the parking lots of school board meetings, jotting down license plate numbers of parents who are going to a school board meeting to possibly complain about what's going on with their child in the school. They're sending undercover agents or they at least talked about sending undercover agents to Catholic churches to infiltrate to see if there's any extremism going on in there.
And to tip off when they assessed a situation was extreme. But what is extreme? If you are somebody who is on a very far progressive left side of the aisle and you look at somebody's Catholic beliefs, they might be extreme to you, but that doesn't mean that they're extreme. You look at the Catholic Church and they're going to tell you that you should be monogamous until you're married. That's pretty extreme based on culture today. I subscribe to that. I think that's the way it should be. Here's more from the hearing. Listen to this.
In a different part of the country, you saw that same pressure from the Washington field office. And did they ever try to get you to do something that was outside the normal order of law enforcement activity?
Yes, sir.
And what did the Washington field office try to get you to do that violated the law and regulations?
They tried to get me to serve a federal grand jury subpoena when there was no proper predicate to do so.
And the reason there was no predicate was because it was based on an anonymous tip, right?
That's correct.
And time and again, the Washington field office was trying to pressure you without corroboration to go start process on people. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
And so while I agree that January 6th was a violent day, a bad day, a day that nobody wants to relive, violence on January 6th doesn't justify weaponizing the government against people who were innocent and did nothing wrong. Thank you for blowing the whistle on that.
If you have undercover federal agents in the crowd on January 6th that were just at the rally, at the Trump rally, where a lot of people who supported Donald Trump were, and they never even made it to the Capitol. They didn't even know that was going on until they got home and saw the news. I wouldn't be upset or concerned even if you had undercover federal agents in a massive crowd in the nation's capital when the president was making a speech. I kind of would expect that. The idea that there has been a unwillingness to say this is what we, maybe they don't want to, spoil methods. But we're in a position right now where there are people who are questioning who was doing what then, who participated in what capacity that day. And we have so much evidence leading up to today when these whistleblowers are testifying, but even before these whistleblowers are testifying, that the agency is being used to squash political opposition. It is a fair question on behalf of the American people that deserves a direct and honest answer. Did you have undercover agents in the crowd that day, in the Capitol building that day? And if so, somebody needs to be able to assess what they were doing. And if they were there because they were doing their job, who and what are they protecting? And how did they do it? That seems to be like a conversation that is necessary to have. And we have lots of examples that suggest in other scenarios that they are certainly using their undercover presence in a way that is politically advantageous to one side and disadvantageous to the other. And you can have that conversation in a way that isn't, super dark, deep state crazy. But the more that we aren't allowed to have the conversation and the more shadowed that all of these instances are, the more people fear what they don't know. So tell us what we need to know.
Yeah, and these agencies now are on the record so many times covering for just Democrats over and over. I mean, you think about the Hunter Biden, the ex-law enforcement agents, however many that was, that went on record and said, yeah, that's Russian, just 50. That's Russian disinformation. I mean, that's just one example. I mean, we're looking at example after example this week in light of the Durham probe, especially now these whistleblowers. These agencies are fully, at least in Washington, they're fully politicized.
And to your point on that thing, that there is allegations now that that letter from those 50 intel officers wasn't volunteered. It was solicited from the Biden campaign.
Amazing.
I'm going to watch and see how these FBI whistleblowers continue to materialize. We know what we know from the Durham report. It is damning. It really doesn't tell us what we new things. It gives us a fuller picture of what we did already know, but you could roll the tape on this show. We've been covering this issue the entire time. And I go back to Hans von Spakovsky on this show. I've talked to him about this since I was on Saturdays, and 7 of you, and you're my favorite 7, were listening to the Annie Frey show on Saturdays from 5 to 7 p.m. And we were discussing these type of accusations and trying to look into what is the substance here. And there was never a substance, but there were always people like Adam Schiff who would be eager and ready to be like, there are things you don't know, but when you do, you will be shocked. He's a lying sack of crap when he talks like that. And now he wants to be in the United States Senate. Is there any retribution? California is the one who gets to decide for Adam Schiff. The rest of us will have to sit by and watch it unfold. The only way to rectify these things is to win elections. And you got to ask yourself, if you look at the Durham report and how much they were able to get away with trying to take the American people's interests and mindset into their own hands and lie and be subsidized in their lying by the actual bureaucracies that are unelected and bloated in this country, you want to make sure it's fair. I don't know. You're going to have to get active now. You can't wait until summer of 2024 to participate. Quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about a couple of funny things. I'm looking forward to bringing some of these extra stories here to the Annie Frey Show, along with Annie, Are You Okay? With Trisha, who does not have our chocolates. She went and looked in the place she thought that the most logical explanation, and there are no chocolates. Where are the Annie Frey Show chocolates? Somebody took them?
Is this being broadcast in the building right now?
I don't know.
Because let's just put out a call.
Are you sitting in the bathroom on a toilet right now eating my chocolates?
I'll go check.
Is it the ones with nuts or without? Which are they good?
I'm not going to check that
Are they
part.
delicious?
I'm just gonna kick open some doors
and just
see what's going on.
I want my chocolates now.
Yeah.
These are the conservative chocolates. You don't even want them. Isn't that what they're doing? It's what they're doing. We'll be right back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Jen Teskey with Remax Alliance, online at jenteskeyhomes.com. If you're looking to sell or buy in the state of Illinois, Jen Teskey and Remax Alliance is the winning team every time. You just meet her. To meet her and to get to know her is to love her, because she has this energy and she has this chemistry to be able to work with people to help you understand what you need to know to position your house to sell top dollar and fast, but also to be able to deliver you those truths. That sometimes when you're going through selling a home and someone's like, no, you need to put that stuff away. Nobody wants to see that. And you're like, but those are my favorite things. And they're like, but they're not going to be the new home buyer's favorite things. Her entire team positions your home in the best possible light to appeal to the most people, getting you top dollar offers and fast. If you're thinking about selling your home in the future, maybe it's not the time right now, but maybe the fall or the winter coming up this year, Jen Teskey's still there and wants to have your phone call. 618-541-1010. You can call her or text her. Jen Teskey, RE/MAX Alliance at 618-541-1010, online at jenteskeyhomes.com.
Cardinals baseball is in full swing.
Right center field, a grand slam for Nolan Gorman.
With the free Odyssey app, you can stream the team all summer long in your backyard, at the beach, or wherever you're listening.
And it's a gunner! An opposite field home run for Wilson Contreras.
Cardinals baseball. Cardinals announcers. Streaming live on the free Odyssey app. AUDACY. Get in the game and download it today.
McKelvey Homes was founded in 1898. This year, we are celebrating our 125th anniversary by giving $12,500 of free options on all homes sold through the end of June. And we will also make a donation of $1,898 to the Independence Center for every home sold. Visit McKelveyHomes.com for our current locations and to learn more information about McKelvey Homes. That's McKelveyHomes.com.
Impression of us is probably bridal jewelry, engagement rings, wedding bands, and yes, you're right, there's a reason we're the nation's premier bridal jewelry destination. But you're missing out if you don't also think about Diamonds Direct for jewelry gifts for other special moments, like birthdays, graduations, sweet 16s, anniversaries. Our collection of fashion jewelry is second to none. Cases filled with rings, bands, pendants, bracelets, colored gemstones, beautiful jewelry starting at around $300. Jewelry boxes across America are being filled with our diamond classics, like stud and hoop earrings and stunning tennis bracelets. Everyday jewelry that you can wear with anything. And know this, the same quality and value you appreciate in our bridal collections, you'll find as well in our fashion jewelry. No compromises. So as you celebrate all the amazing moments of your life, remember Diamonds Direct. Let us help you celebrate with a gift of lasting value. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They're in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Odyssey is your home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today to listen to 97.1 FM Talk, even when you don't have a radio. Always streaming at 971talk.com. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We're glad that you're here with us today. Still looking for my chocolates. If anybody out there is eating my chocolates in the office, are we on outside? Trisha probably came in and she's like, get 97.1 off of the office speakers.
There's a chocolate situation.
Annie won't stop talking about it. I want my she, him, or he, him, excuse me. That was a different time. It was a different order. I want my he, him, she, her, Jeremy's chocolates that I ordered 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
No, confirmed order March 6th.
March 6th. That's
2 months.
over 2 months ago.
2.5 months, yeah. 3 months is not really an irresponsible exaggeration.
No.
So they were delivered yesterday. I'm emailing all the people. You said you checked all the places.
I checked all the places.
It cost me, I ordered 8 bars of chocolate. And it cost me $32.
Dang.
Can I have my chocolates now? Okay. Anywho. Annie, are you okay? I'm really only caring about the chocolate.
Yeah.
I get it. TSA testing facial recognition technology at airports. Facial recognition technology, I don't know why I chose this story because I can't say that word, is coming soon to a TSA checkpoint near you. Travelers will have to look into a camera that matches their face to the photo on their driver's license or passport. TSA has already begun testing the system in 16 airports across the U.S. They say it's not storing the data and the travelers do not have to do it. They have the opportunity to opt out, which leads to the question, why would we even do it? Annie, are you okay with a TSA facial recognition system?
Man, post 9/11 and the Patriot Act and everything, I was very understanding of a lot of things this country did right after 9/11. And then we found out later how broad that was and how expansive and how it was used outside of those. I don't know. This is where I feel like I'm overmatched in what I don't know. And I feel like if I throw a big opinion out there, it'd be ignorant. And the people who do know things are like, oh, Annie. But your face is, your phone recognizes your face.
Fair point.
When people get really bent out of shape about their information and stuff being out there, dude, it is out there.
Yeah, that ship has sailed.
So I don't know. I'm not big on surrendering my freedoms and liberties from the United States government, but I'm pretty sure they got all that stuff already anyway. So.
Is it okay if we start transitioning from comparing bad government to the DMV to the TSA? Everybody understands that the lines are long. It's really annoying. I think that would be a better comparison in modern America, Trish.
What?
Your thoughts?
I don't really get it.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I just think that people, if privacy is your soapbox, you're going to get on your soapbox and you're going to shake fists at the sky, and then you're going to log on to your computer where you have all of your passwords saved for all of your personal information in Google.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're not nearly as private as you think you are.
Yeah.
If you plug, if you use a computer, I got a laptop in front of me right now. I've got my face on camera. If you've ever seen Facebook kind of malfunction, like it's not delivering images and rendering things the way it's supposed to be, every once in a while you'll get a sneak peek on the textual information that is attached to photos. You can look at your photo. I'm certain there's a way that you can go research this on your own as well. And I don't know how to tell you to do it right now, but you can go look at your photos, and Facebook will be like, if say it's an Easter photo that I took with my family, it'll be tagged with woman, flowers, dress, sunglasses, and all of a sudden this photo is cataloged because the system looked at it and said, here are the things that are in this photo, and then all of that stuff gets put into an algorithm, and then what? I don't know. The overlords probably. Where's my chocolate?
That's really all we're thinking about.
That's all I'm thinking about.
We're all like, oh, show, but we want to eat the chocolate because we know it's here.
Give me a chocolate. I can't even really eat it right now.
We really could. We could just kind of let Trisha just talk.
Okay, let me just go. Hang me out. Yeah, let me just do this.
Yeah.
You guys don't do anything except for look for those chocolates.
Okay.
Keep it on.
Woman makes men submit a 500-word essay before they're allowed to date her.
Pass.
No, I think it's a great idea.
I actually kind of like this too.
That's a fantastic idea. Because the men should know.
Mm-hmm.
I like the courtship aspect of it. I like having to work a little bit for it. Brad.
It's the first time Ryan's ever liked to work for anything.
Work for a girl.
At least we know what it is now that you'll work for.
Yeah, it.
But no, I'm not filling out a 500-word essay to date you. Maybe you should fill out a 500-word essay to date me.
Well, this woman in England said it started as a joke, but men took it seriously, and she's kind of loving it. One guy even provided a PowerPoint with why he would be an acceptable suitor, and she's finding it a useful way to vet potential dating partners.
If I were dating right now, and I'm not, Jared and I have been together for 19 years. It's fantastic. Married for something like 15 plus. But if I had to date right now, I would employ this.
I know. I thought of you when I saw the story. I'm like, Annie's going to love this because it shows like effort, and it's going to show that they can write and clearly string together a thought.
That's not why I love it.
Why do you love it?
Because I would not date anybody who would write a 500-word essay.
Oh, you'd vet them the other way?
No way.
I thought you would love it. Like you'd be like,
if I
this shows commitment to
this is not what women. Yeah. This is not what women want. Women want someone who says you got to write a 500-word essay if you want to date me, and they go no, but then they show you. If they want to date you, they show you. But if a man is willing to say how high when you say jump immediately, then this is not a balanced relationship.
I
and
respect that point of view.
The gamesmanship, like Brad's like really in my corner on this right now.
I am super on your corner.
But Brad doesn't know how much gamesmanship still is in the hand, the power that is in the hand of a woman.
Right.
When you say, you're going to write me a 500-word essay, and they go, no, I'm not. I mean, you're still getting played, dude. It's still like a fiddle, potentially.
Am I? I mean, if I just walk away from it, am I getting played?
If my, this is where we get into 4D chess. If my effort to weed out the kind of man that I want to date is to say, you're going to write me a 500-word essay, and he goes, like hell I am, and he walks away, and he's not willing to fight on his own terms, then I don't want to be with him either. I don't want him to write me an essay, but I want him to do it on his terms.
He's going to find another chivalrous way to court you.
And men everywhere listening to the station right now are like, women freaking suck. They're like, what do we do? Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's not going to be easy to date me. It's not going to be easy to be married to me. You might as well learn on day one.
And he doesn't want a resume. She sets a trap.
Yeah.
Just to see who falls.
And I want to see if you can
this.
outsmart it. And if I say to you, you're going to write me 500 words and you write 600 words, goodbye. Thanks for playing. If I say, I need you to write me 500 words, which could be done in a very playful way. I need you to write me a 500-word essay as to why I should date you. And you're like, screw you, then how interested could you have ever been in the first place? So
I like it.
But that's the thing, though.
No, I'm doing it. I'm writing it.
The thing about it is,
Ryan,
like,
I want you to write a 500-word essay as to why you should still be on this show.
But
no, I'm not joking.
No, here's the deal.
He has no idea what to do now.
You just do exactly what you just said. You write "screw you" 250 times.
I've got your essay right.
Also not going to end up in a date.
Terrible radio, and you're going to have to read it on air.
Who has time for that?
For what?
Like a 500-word essay, like that's a red flag to me.
It's time for that.
But it's a red herring. You're missing that.
No, I'm not missing that. Even if it is a red herring, I'm not missing that part either. Good grief.
If you really wanted the date, you really do. You sit down, you go, come on, 250 times.
But
that's it. And then here's the other side though. If you win that sweepstakes, she better be pretty darn awesome.
Well, for sure, and I am.
Because I'm talking about the woman in England.
Hey.
No.
It's not just a river in Egypt.
No, is that it? Oh, that was another Rickroll, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah,
not really sure what it is anymore.
All red flags. No, I mean, Brad, you can say who's got time for that, but if you are not having some gamesmanship in the courtship process, that's boring and no fun, and I'm out, which means that's okay. That's what you would want. You would want out of that.
Yeah.
So it's a mutual parting of ways. But if you're not willing to do a little playful courting when you're dating, which actually seriously requiring someone to write you an essay to date you is not actual courting.
No.
The dating time is where you get to decide if you have chemistry, and it's where you have to butt heads a little bit to see how you play off one another. And I would 100% use that to my advantage.
You're gonna attract.
I can't tell. Does that mean Annie's okay or not?
Producer, hit the sounder now. We're done with that.
Yeah, but are you okay or not? Was that a yes?
I want my chocolate.
All right, Captain.
Am I okay with it?
I couldn't tell. You were using it in such a backwards manner.
I know. It's because I can't let you figure it out.
Man, there it is.
There it is.
This is the third time I've hit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not on this topic.
Are you sure?
I almost
you hit it twice on the last
I almost
topic.
want my wife to do this because I want to use
If you want,
that
if you
canvas.
want something, if you want her to do something like this, but you want to attack this issue like a woman, you can't tell her.
Okay, I won't. I'll just write her a 500-word essay for no reason.
You have to infer it
About why she should date me. I want to take you to Oriental Spoon on Friday.
I'm gonna promise you something right now. If you write your wife,
Dear Katie,
a 500-word essay and bring her flowers tonight on a day that it means absolutely nothing to anything,
okay.
You'll be.
But what if I'm a couple
winner.
words short? Can I just write okay?
Just yes. If you write her a 500-word note that says why you want to date her, and give her flowers or something, a plant like you did that one time that you hid in your house from her.
What if I did the original one and it
2
was
weeks.
screw you 250 times though?
You can do that too.
Okay.
Make sure you tell us how that went on.
I will.
All right, next. Would you play the sound? Just kidding.
Play the sounder.
She
She's
really
looking
want-
for
nobody
chocolates.
knows. Apple is set to introduce a new feature that would allow your iPhone to completely recreate your voice with only 15 minutes of
Totally
training.
sounds like something Apple would do going.
Apple is introducing this feature to make iPhones more accessible for people with disabilities. This tool could be useful to help them by reading typed text aloud during calls and saving commonly used phrases. It would all be read in their voice, obviously. A major concern, however, is that scammers can more easily impersonate you. Annie, are you okay with having your voice recreated?
It already can be.
They can make your voice?
Yeah, I mean, there are places you can go on the
for
internet
sure.
right now that will create your voice and make you say anything. They can create videos of you doing things that
They
you
can
have
do
never
that.
done.
Yeah, good point.
Again, and then there'd be like some
I guess-
well-experienced conservators are like, TSA shouldn't be looking at our face.
Don't look at my face.
I also
anymore.
like how Apple's like, well, this would be used for people with disabilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
BS.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what you're thinking. I
I
didn't even
guess
think about the fact that it could be misused.
I guess the better question is, are you okay with every other person having this ability? Because right now, most people don't know how to do it, and everybody would soon.
No, I think all AI things are bad. That's a consistent general. Yes.
General.
Yeah, not okay.
Okay. Montana has become the first state in the U.S. to ban TikTok. Governor Greg Gianforte signed off on the bill on Wednesday. The ban would not punish TikTok users, but rather app stores and TikTok itself. The ban is the first of its kind in the U.S. and is expected to face legal challenges from both TikTok and the ACLU. Annie, are you okay with individual states banning TikTok?
I guess it's just kind of you're just kind of sending a message. How do you ban it in a state?
I guess if it's...
Is it just like banning a drug that if you get caught using it, you get in trouble?
I think they said that if they catch your platform allowing it to be downloaded with a Montana IP address, that they would fine you.
The user?
They'd find TikTok.
No, the company that was allowing the platform.
The platform, like your app store.
Yeah. Which really, I mean, it's Montana.
If you can,
not a lot of people.
they're the
there.
ones that found the
You
spy
kinda-
balloon.
What?
That's true. But there's not as many people that govern, so you probably keep pretty good close eye on it. Thanks, GN Forte.
Gee, well, that's why it took me a minute to start this story. I'm like, what in the world is this guy's name?
I don't know. I feel
Greg,
like
Governor
TikTok
Greg.
is such a disaster for so many different reasons that anything that we can do to make that point is good. And when the federal government is only interested in obviously not pushing back against China, if Montana has people talking about it, then yeah, I'm okay with it.
North Hollywood strippers unionize. Dancers at
About time.
North Hollywood Club are making history as they are set to become the country's only unionized strippers. The campaign to unionize had lasted.
It's like all they would try to do is get them to picket.
Just go stand outside.
Just whatever you do, don't agree with
We're
what they
gonna
want.
stretch this out for months. Ton of traffic.
A lot of people seeing this picket line.
Through the roof.
I'm just saying.
Getting a lot of media coverage for some reason.
Once the vote is finalized, the employees of Star Garden Topless Dive Bar will be represented by the Actors Equity Association.
Named dive bar?
Star Garden Topless Dive Bar
That's
is
where
the
you
name
want to
of
see
this
your
club.
strippers.
Well, they're wanting to unionize for safety reasons and
I
for a
agree with
friendlier
this.
workspace.
Yeah, I've always felt like they were. I'm
You're
like,
always
are
about workers' rights.
you people independent contractors? Why don't you guys get some rights? This place is dirty. Clean this up. I feel dirty just being here.
It's not-
you should unionize.
It's not the cleanliness.
Here's a picket sign.
I don't know why, but there's been like 4 times today where I've started to say things.
I
And
know.
I'm like, I shouldn't say that out loud. I don't have anything to say.
Are you okay with the strippers unionizing?
We want you to carry traditional signs, not sandwich boards.
And there's a new city requirement. They can only be 6 inches by 8 inches. It's just really tiny signs.
Oh, these conditions are unbelievable. These girls are stripping in.
That's why they had them outside for so long.
Good for them. Yeah.
Where's my-
Rather than go inside.
I'm going to pick it for my chocolates.
Any update on those chocolates?
No, I'm staring at my phone like something's
Really,
going to
the po-
happen here.
yeah.
There's nothing that's
The
going to
point
happen.
of the whole segment is that we want to eat.
Is it possible the chocolates got delivered to our office, or is that like not even a possibility?
No.
I got a
They're
bill
not
from a
here.
chiropractor today in my office. I don't ever get mail.
Not even your
Is that-
chiropractor.
I put
You
that
should
on your
totally
desk.
pay that in cash.
I don't know what happened. I'm like, what? Could he not find me
Here's
at home?
the only possibility I can see. They were delivered to a different part of our building that isn't commonly foot trafficked, and somebody that does not work here picked them up.
It was
and took
Augustus
them
Gloop.
home.
And took them home.
Yeah.
Because who gets chocolates in the mail and opens them up and sees that they're genderized chocolates and is like, okay, whatever.
Free radio
They
food.
probably, it said floor 3, but you know how the garage is floor 2 and it gets kind of confusing. If you've ever been to floor 2 on this building, there's a chocolate water fountain there. And if you lick the wallpaper, the schnozberries taste like schnozberries. So I could
gross,
see,
Ryan.
I could see how somebody could accidentally deliver it
Is
to
this
that
a
floor.
reference?
Yes, it is, and he needs to stop.
To
It's Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka
It's,
and the-
I've
I'm
never
basically
seen
saying
that.
second
I
floor is
mean-
Willy Wonka the chocolate factory.
or Super Troopers when the
It's both.
guy eats the,
Is it?
takes
It's
the
both.
drugs. And
Well, anyway,
how are we feeling about those strippers?
I wonder if anyone's pooping outside.
I really hope there is.
if we look outside and somebody's both pooping in the park and eating our chocolates,
chocolate.
then please get that on camera this time. I don't want to see the pooping part, but I do want to get the documented eating of our chocolates.
There's some people sleeping.
There's some people sleeping.
I want it. That looks nice.
What, are we still on the radio?
No,
Not
this is our
for
last
long.
show.
Okay.
Just riding it
Okay.
into the sunset. We're way past time. We could just
Sure.
break.
Yeah, we could have ended at any time.
I would be okay with that.
Okay. There it is.
Thanks, Trish.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for
We'll
having
be
me.
back with the poll results in a minute.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I said, find it, love and love it if you like it, yeah. Hey, it's your business.
When you have a cavity, you have a spot in your mouth and it is causing you pain and you just think, gosh, I don't want to go to the dentist. I can't stand the dentist. I haven't been to the dentist. I don't even have a dentist. And you just kind of start to deal with it. You chew your food on the other side of your mouth and you just try to work around it. That is no way to live. You need a dentist that you trust, that you feel comfortable and confident going to. And may I suggest to you, Foley Dental Group. You go to FoleyDentalGroup.com, Foley, FoleyDentalGroup.com, and you can see a lot of the reasons why the Frey family, myself included, go to Foley Dental Group. They have amazing dentists who are going to give you top-notch care and a staff that's going to provide you cleanings. I've never, ever, ever walked away from an appointment there, whether it was a cleaning or it was a cavity filled or something like that, and had that achy pain in my mouth. They are not going to judge you if you haven't been to the dentist in a long time. They're there to help you, and they can give you a whole health perspective when you choose to go to Foley Dental Group. You can call them at 618-288-9670, online at foleydentalgroup.com.
The Gateway Warrior Foundation mission is simple, helping vets in need. Help support their mission by playing or sponsoring a hole at the 14th Annual Gateway Warrior Golf Classic October 9th. Be part of the Conservatives Care movement. Learn more at 971talk.com/care.
Air season coming upon us, and it's $89 to have us come out and make sure the best we can that you're set for summer. I cannot predict how long your furnace or air conditioner will last. If I could, I would be making this commercial from the Caribbean, and I would have billions of dollars. So I can't do that. But what I can do is we can make sure your system is clean, your filters changed. It's in the best working order. If there's a part that might be failing, we can let you know that and give you a price on that. We will not come in at $89 and try to sell you a brand new system. I do promise you that. So call me. It's really one easy number, and it is one number just for Missouri and Illinois. There's only one Bart Inman, and that is the number 314-293-2600. Again, Bart Inman, Bart with a B, Inman with an I, 314-293-2600, or bartinman.com.
When I met little Ruthie in 2010, she was just 5 years old. She wasn't eating much, she had no school to go to, and she didn't know who Jesus was. In December of 2023, Ruthie will be joining 12 others in the first graduating class of Bethlehem Christian Academy in Zambia, Africa. Hi, my name is Martin Winslow, founder and president of BCA. When you support a child like Ruthie through BCA, you get to join us in being the hands and feet of Jesus. Our mission is dedicated to transforming lives by feeding and educating poor and orphan children in some of the poorest places in Africa and South Asia. BCA's ministry not only provides physical bread to these kids, but also spiritual bread through the Word of God. For just $36 a month, you can help a child have a hope of a better future, but more importantly, give them the opportunity to learn about Christ. You can also join us on a mission trip. In fact, many will be joining me this upcoming December to watch Ruthie receive her diploma. To find out more about how you can help children like Ruthie, please visit bcaministries.com. That's bcaministries.com.
The wait is over. Golden Oak Lending announces that we have dropped our mortgage rates to the lowest they've been all year.
If you've thought about purchasing a home or getting cash out to wipe out debt, you can now benefit from Golden Oak's low 5.25% rate.
Credit card rates are at an all-time high. Don't pay over 25% in interest.
Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Lending, join my blues.
NMLS 114937. 5.25% fixed, 5.928% APR. FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
Back at 12:25 today, Zack Smith, legal fellow at Heritage, talked with the Annie Frey Show about the possibility of a Hunter Biden indictment coming soon. If you want to listen to that, rewind on the Odyssey app. The time right now is 2:48. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Northwestern University professor Michael Bailey is an expert on gender, but his research is being canceled. He'll explain why Thursday afternoon.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Stand on the box, stomp your feet, start clapping. Got a real good feeling, something bad about to happen.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Pulled up to the church, but I got so nervous, had to back it on up, couldn't make it to the service. Grabbed all the cash underneath my mattress, got a real good feeling, something bad about to happen. Ran into a girl in a pretty white dress, rolled down the window.
I think that as a Florida resident, he didn't give an answer about would you have signed the heartbeat bill that Florida did? They had all the exceptions that people talk about. The legislature put it in. I signed the bill. I was proud to do it. He won't answer whether he would sign it or not.
So there's Ron DeSantis talking about Donald Trump and the Florida heartbeat bill. Donald Trump has said that he would not support any federal action on abortion regulation. And then he was asked in that CNN town hall about abortion, and he said he would have to wait and see what what was good for everybody. And he really balked at the opportunity to have a strong pro-life stance, but also he was saying, this is an issue that is being decided now because of his successful nominations to the Supreme Court on a state-by-state level, and he'd have to look at it. So he didn't say anything to me that was effectively pro-choice or anything, but he didn't take the hard line that Ron DeSantis was able to take in Florida. And if you're looking at an abortion issue on a state-by-state basis, it's a lot easier to be able to have a consensus in a state than it is in a country where you have 50 states. Here, before we get to the YouTube live chat poll with Hannah, is a little flashback from Donald Trump commenting on Ron DeSantis.
I know Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is extraordinary. Harvard, Yale, brilliant, ran an incredible campaign, really beat a lot of people that he wasn't supposed to beat because he came into the race and a lot of people didn't know him. He's an extreme talent, and he will make a fantastic governor of Florida. So I think Ron is he's extraordinary.
So Donald Trump said that about Ron DeSantis when he was not a potential direct opponent to him. And he has certainly changed his tune on Governor Ron DeSantis. And you can understand in politics, it's going to be dirty. It's going to be messy. Is Donald Trump going to be out there advocating how great of a president Ron DeSantis will be? Of course not, because Donald Trump wants to do it. That's why we asked today's YouTube poll. Hannah?
Today's YouTube live chat poll is asking, would Ron DeSantis be a good president? Yes or no. All of us in the room said that he would make a good president. Now to see what you guys have said, the listeners, Christine Anderson from our Facebook page said DeSantis would have my vote. Linda White left us a lengthy comment. She said DeSantis should wait until 2028. Trump is proven to be able to get things done. He has the resources to fight. DeSantis does not have the resources to fight DC. He hasn't had to hire endless lawyers fighting off made up things throughout his service. Let Trump finish what he started in getting rid of the swamp and making America number one. Eric Schrump from our YouTube channel said Ron would make a good president because he's good enough, he's smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like him.
Stuart Smalley.
Yes, they do. Wavy Lester commented, even if I don't agree with DeSantis 100%, he will be a far better president than what we have now. I think he's a guy who has the potential to bring the deeply divided GOP back together.
Wavy. Good comment.
Yes. Sherry G from YouTube said, I voted yes. I believe he would be a great president in 2028.
Okay.
Yep. Blues Lifer said, even if DeSantis is a good president, it won't matter. He will still be demonized and we will still be divided.
Stop. Go back. Put that one back up there because that's not true. If Ron DeSantis is a good president, it will matter even if he's demonized and we are still divided. It still matters. We can't, this whole idea, which is just such a pipe dream. It's not even a pipe dream because a pipe dream is something that you present to people that you want, like it's the outcome that you want to see happen, but it's just kind of a too lofty of a goal. The people in charge right now are the ones who are manufacturing the division that they're selling you the solution for. Without the intention of ever providing you a solution, because if they gave you the solution, you wouldn't need them anymore. The idea that Joe Biden was going to come in and be the unifying president, he was never unifying. He's the opposite of unifying. Name anything that he has done as the president of the United States that has brought people together. Serious question for the room.
I can't think of anything.
Can you think of a single thing, Ryan, that Joe Biden has done to come out and say, as Americans, and then said something that truly does bring together Americans who believe different things on an issue, but encourage them to come together as what makes us strong?
I can't really think of a time where he tried to even compromise. He billed himself as that president, the person that could kind of bring everybody to the table. And he has done the exact opposite of that.
Once he was in.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to find like flowery rhetoric. I'm trying to find a time when he even said, what we need to do is find middle ground here. And he just doesn't do it.
Not at all.
Plus, the things that he has the opportunity to potentially just send out a little bit of an olive branch, like, okay, maybe we're going to work together on this. He insults. He doesn't just not go to the let's have a grown-up unity conversation, which is the entire predicate for his presidency. He brings out the insults, and the insults are bold-faced vocabulary words out of the Democratic campaign playbook that he is going to utilize to try to demonize the people who disagree with him, which is the exact opposite. Gaslighter in chief.
Next comment is from Janine. She says, DeSantis' Trump policies and abilities without his mouth getting in the way. We also got a comment saying that DeSantis wouldn't be a good president because he's not a good governor, in Scooter's opinion. Kathy Poole says, while I enjoy Trump's
Ironically,
jabs,
just to interject there, Scooter is saying that from the leftist position, not the Trump position.
Right.
Which there are two groups of people right now that would criticize Ron DeSantis as a governor.
Kathy says, while I enjoy Trump's jabs and banter, he was a great president. I feel DeSantis brings a more disciplined approach to the office with much of the same policies that Trump did. With over 210 votes on our YouTube poll, which is asking, would Ron DeSantis make a good president? Yes or no? 86% of the people said that DeSantis would make a good president. 14% of the people disagree and say that he would not. So pretty overwhelming. 86% of the people say that DeSantis would make a good president.
That's good. I like to hear that because one way or the other, even if like someone said Ron DeSantis would be a good president in 2028, it's very possible that that could be it. Lots could happen in those 4 years as well if Donald Trump wins or if Donald Trump loses. But it's important to just assess the situation sometimes on its own merit, just in its own little silo. And I think that's why I asked that question. I usually don't ask questions that I assume are going to be lopsided. I was just glad to see that this one pretty much was. Subscribe to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and stick around because the Mark Reardon Show is coming up next right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
Did you know the IRS is a super